How are you, my friend? We are doing a one-off. It's the first time I'm doing this, and I kind of got my times kind of a little bit screwed up. So I'm kind of we had it scheduled for 7:30, and we moved it to 7 p.m. So I'm having I'm still setting up as we going. I appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out with me. I am the Gumby Man. We will be doing a chat show, the first ever, Giggle Ginger, the first ever Gumby's Vibe Tribe. My special guest tonight will be Afternoon Antique Company. She is someone that I met on Whatnot early in my Whatnot career. Nice young lady, and we did several trains together and got to know each other. So that's what we plan on doing tonight. Once she gets done with her little stream, she's gonna pop in. She's gonna pop in and hang out with us. So that's what we're gonna do. We're going to talk about Whatnot. We're going to talk about each other. We're going to talk about anything and everything that y'all want to talk about, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a chat show. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am currently right now streaming on YouTube as well for this chat show. I don't normally stream my shows normally on YouTube because I like to play music on my Whatnot shows. And with that's the case, Shakir, appreciate y'all coming in. What's going on, guys? We will be heading Afternoon Antique Company will be raiding into us here shortly. Let her know I am live. I appreciate y'all coming in. We'll be having a chat show. Any questions y'all have, think about it. Any questions of me? I've been on Whatnot now for a little over a year, just barely. I'm actually a year and a month now, 13 months. As the mama say, he's a 13-month-old. So let me know if you got any questions. I'll write them down. And hey, thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. Okay, B, what's up, my friend? How are you? Let me let her know I'm live. There we go. I'm live. I'm live. So there we go. Yes. Man, I tell you, last night, we had a show last night. Oh, my goodness. We had a show last night. I started at, let's see here, get this turned off. I started last night at about 9 p.m. and I ended up running. There she comes. There she comes. Afternoon Antique Company is in the house. Welcome in, everybody. I appreciate y'all coming in and joining. Joe Siskimo is in the house as well. Hello, my friends. Welcome in. Let me know, Kylie, when you are ready for me to co-host you, and we'll get this party started. I got my times a little bit screwed up. I was so busy. You ready, Freddie? All right. So let's go here. Let me make sure my sound's off on my computer. We're going to invite to co-host. Invite to co-host. There we go. We're going to confirm, make sure the right person. There we go. Once she gets in here, we'll do a sound check to make sure we're all good to go. Something didn't happen right. There we go.
Checkity check. Ficker.
Now I can see, it's weird. I can see you on my computer screen, but I can't see you on my phone. That's weird. Interesting.
That's weird.
It is very weird.
Whatnot.
Hey, is everybody else out there, can y'all see the split screen? Let's make sure that there's no issues, guys. It is weird because now everybody's seeing the split screen, because now I'm looking at my phone, but I got to look over here to see you. It's weird.
Some people can, but some people can't. So kick me out and then I'll come back in.
Let's do that. Let's see here. How do I kick you out?
I don't know.
I've never done that before. I've always had people.
Maybe if I just close out of the app.
Leave themselves. Yeah, how about you do that and then come back in? How's that sound?
Okay.
Let's try that. Dun, 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 dun. A little bit of technical difficulties. You're on an iPhone and can't see her. All right. She's going to try. She's leaving now. Now, when she comes back in, we'll try it one more time. There she is. Oh, it says co-host on there. That's interesting. That's very interesting. All right. Removed her from co-host. There we go. I removed the co-host, and now we'll try it again. Huh. Invite the co-host. Let's try this again one last time. There we go. There we go. It's looking better now.
Better?
There we go. Much better. I actually had to boot you from a co-host because it was still showing you as co-host. You know how these technical difficulties are.
Yep.
But guys, This is my guest, Kylie,
Hi.
Afternoon Antique Company. We met probably a year or so ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And we just kind of become friends, and we kind of help each other out. We talk about stuff, just like people supposed to do, right?
Yes.
People
Of course.
supposed to do that. People
Yes.
supposed to help people. And Kylie has been a great help to me, and it's been a cool journey so far. If you know, on the Whatnot world, it has been. It's got ups and downs. Lots of ups, just a few downs, but mainly
Yep.
ups. So I always try to look at everything positively. I hope y'all do. Let me turn my light on. My light. I'm not. There we go. Put some light on the subject. There we go. But Gumby
We're
and
good
Kylie are
eggs.
both great people. Y'all good eggs. Okay. All right, Deb. Good egg. Whatever that might mean. I'm not sure. I guess that's the opposite of a rotten egg.
Yeah, it's like in Willy Wonka where they have the eggs coming out of the little thing, and then it's like,
See,
that's a bad egg. We're the
I'm not
golden
a
egg.
movie buff kind of guy, so who
You're
knows,
the
right?
golden eggs.
Hey, Red Rooster, Kim's in the house. Hey,
Hi,
Kim, how are you, my friend?
Red.
Yes, we are doing, Kim, we're doing the first ever, it's an old saying meaning you're a good person. I got that, Deb. Thank you, my friend. We are currently doing the first ever Gumby's Vibe Tribe. And my first guest ever on this is Kylie, Afternoon Antique Company. We're just here to chat, talk about anything that anybody wants to talk about. So, guys, hit us with your questions. I know you got a million of them, right? Right? You're like, yeah, right, sure I do.
I'm like, I don't
But
know. You
talk to us.
tell me.
Yeah, talk to us. I mean, ask us anything. If we can't answer, we'll tell you. But
Yes.
ask us anything. Any questions at all. Do I need to
Like,
do
ask
the
me about my glasses and
Oh
how the
wow, look,
heck
those
I
are
do that.
cool.
How the
Those are
heck did I
cool.
do that? Magic.
How did you do that? Are they magnetic?
Yeah, they are. Hold on. I'll be right back while you guys get your questions.
The Gumby Kylie AMA. What is that? All right, Debs, you're blowing my mind with all this stuff. The Gumby Kylie AMA. How how did Kylie get the curl out of her hair or your hair? I'm trying to figure that out. I'm seeing the question. Lady Tagalong, welcome in.
How did
AMA,
I get
ask me anything. I got it.
out of
So how did Kylie get the curl out of your hair? Out of
my former hair?
my former hair. I got you. Oh,
This
I
is
got it. I'm
permanent.
with you now. Gosh.
So yes, so these are magnetic glasses. They're from a company called Pair. So you can like change out your glasses, or you can stack them on top of each other and look ridiculous. So I have these
No.
ones. They're candy canes, and then I have these
How
ones
thick can they go?
as thick as you'd like. These
That's
say
cool.
be
Those are
kind.
cool. I need those.
These are purple.
I need
These are my
those.
little sewing ones. They've got
Oh
like
my
little sewing
gosh.
things on it. Hold on, I have more. This one is different little butterflies. We've got this as my fall y'all. It's the pumpkins. And then we got for when I'm feeling Christmassy. Wait till I turn to the side. You're gonna laugh. This is for when I'm all
Oh my
rainbow.
gosh. How many? I'm losing count. 8,
And then
9, 10?
I got like little birds. I got the plain green. I can't. It's really hard to see like this. I got these ones.
But
These are
now
my
there's like you're
favorite.
looking through a tunnel, right? Tunnel
And
vision.
then, and then I got my Christmas lights. Now hold on. Wait for it.
Oh my god.
They're
Oh,
so
those are just too cool. Those
yeah.
are
So
too cool.
yeah, you can change them out, and they're so much fun. But I got these ones because they match my hair, and that's why I leave my roots dark because they match perfectly. I love it.
Ah.
Yeah, they're wonderful. I love doing that joke. And what
I
people
let my roots grow out.
yeah, it's fun, it's fun. But in the community, there's a whole community of people who collect these glasses, and we call these toppers, and when you're not wearing toppers, guess what you call it? You're going topless.
Oh
Isn't that
no.
ridiculous?
Oh
It's
my
ridiculous.
gosh.
It is hilarious. It's a whole community of weirdos out there that collect glasses. There's one guy that has every pair ever made, and it's probably about 700. They're $25 a piece, so do the math. Yeah,
No.
yeah,
No.
yeah,
That's a lot of dough.
yeah, a little bit. I could pay my rent like 15 times with that.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
Dude.
I mean, I know when I got my pair of glasses, I had these now for about 2 years. With insurance and everything, I've got vision insurance. Of course, I can't see what I'm looking at, so I better put it back on.
Oh yeah.
With vision insurance and everything, they're $600-700 easy.
Fun fact, these glasses, just the frames, were $200, and they have fancy lenses and the expensive lenses because my eyes are horrible, and then
Oh,
they have the blue light filter on them,
preaching to
and
the
I only paid
choir.
200. Yeah, I only paid 200 for them. My contact prescription, yeah, my contact prescription is negative 6.25. That's how bad my eyes are.
Oh
It's
wow!
so
Oh wow!
bad.
Now,
Yeah, so
if
I don't wear
anybody ever
contact
wants to
anymore.
get me anything, get me one of them big magnifying glasses with a light on it. You know,
Tell me, where's mine? I
because
have one huge.
they go, what's written on the bottom? And I'm like, crap. I'm gonna sit
No
here on the
good.
camera going, I can't get the magnifying glass to focus.
Yeah.
I think it says 1958, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough on old eyes or bad eyes.
Yeah.
Because you don't have old eyes. I've got old eyes, but we both
Imagine
got
how
bad
bad
eyes.
my eyes are going to be when I am old. Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh.
I'll be
No,
blind.
I didn't start wearing glasses probably about 6 or 7 years ago.
What?
Yep.
Really? That's how my dad is. My dad had 20/20 vision. He was always bragging because me and my mom have horrible eyes.
Yep.
So he was always like, yeah, I can see perfectly fine. And now he needs reading glasses. So,
Yeah. Well, that's how I started, reading glasses.
yep.
And then it progressed, and I've got what they call the progressive lenses. They're really
Mm-hmm.
trifocals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're progress. You can't see them though. You can't see
Yeah,
the
you can't
lines.
really tell.
No, you can't see the lines at all. But when I first got them, oh my gosh, I'm sitting there trying to figure out where to look, right?
Yeah.
But
Like
now
bobbing your head.
once you get it for a while, here we are talking about glasses. That's crazy. But but after a
I'm
while,
always asking questions, so this is what
I
you
know,
get.
right?
This is
Yeah.
what you get.
That's what you get. So, guys, just let you know, we are at Gummy's Vibe Tribe. This is going to be a once a month chat show as of right now. I do have 2 more scheduled for February and March. Upcoming guests. Matter of fact, if we want to tag them, we probably can.
Yeah.
It's going to be Pretty Old Antiques. See here, Pretty. I can't spell. Are you pretty?
And also,
Oh,
the buy it now is full, so if you guys are interested in making any purchases, feel free to do so.
Antiques. And then also at the Desert Mermaid will be
I
there.
just have to say, Pretty Old Antiques looks like 2 adorable that picture that you have, they just look like 2 adorable, like, little Christmas Santa
Have you
helpers.
ever met those guys?
I have not. I
You
wasn't
never? Oh,
following
oh
them.
my gosh, they are. I met them one time. I rated them. Okay,
Oh.
I'm not sure what it was, and that's how I met them. That's how I met them. I rated them, and they were just ecstatic. I think
Oh.
it was late night. I think I had 9 or 10 people. It was shutting down, because when you start shutting down, people start leaving. Right? They don't wait
Yeah.
around. So it's like 9 or 10 people. I brought them in. They're like, "Oh my gosh, we've never been rated before." It was like they were just the sweetest people. And I fell in love with them. And
Is it just the 2 of them?
it's 3 of them. It's the young
Ooh.
lady. Her name is Sarah, and I call her Tracy. Welcome in. TP for Freedom's in the house. Welcome in. How are you doing, guys? But she's Sarah, and I call her Sarah Smiles. You know the song, the Sarah
I remember
Smiles.
that, yeah.
Yeah. It's an old '80s song. So I call her Sarah Smiles. That's why I got to use secret things to remember stuff, right?
Yeah.
The older you get, the more you learn. You gotta do stuff to remember stuff. Sometimes people write stuff down. I'm bad about writing it down. I'll write it down and forget where I wrote it down at.
Yep.
I'll put something somewhere to keep it safe, so I won't lose it.
Story of my life.
And guess what? Can't find it.
Yep.
But
That's my mom. There's my mom. She says
hey,
hi.
half and half. Hey,
She's in
college
the other
mom.
room.
Yeah, she's
She's
next
just
door.
another. She can
She's
literally
next
hear
door.
me through the door, but she got on screen anyway.
Hey, Tracy, are you still here? Tracy, TP for Freedom, are you still here?
Tracy was shopping up at Hodgepodge earlier today.
Yeah,
She
well,
was
I wasn't able to get in
shopping
there.
up.
I was shipping. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
I was
Yeah, it
shipping.
was
We
fun.
ran
She's having
last
a good
night.
time. she's like 200 away. Like 20 minutes ago, she was 200 away already, and she's only 12 hours in. It was
That's
crazy.
awesome. You make
Yeah,
lists. Rags to Rufus makes lists. That's
I do in my phone.
Rags
Yeah.
to Rufus. Your name again is shoot. I can't remember. Denise. Yeah.
Mhm.
See, your name does not give me any indication what your name is. Your Rags to
I would have
Rufus
called
gives
you
me no
Rufus.
indication. So
I would
I
have said
have a hard
Rufus.
time thinking. Okay, Rags to Rufus means Denise. I can't.
Denise. Remember
Denise.
Denise?
Denise.
Denise rags.
The
Denise
nice
rags.
Oh, Tracy, my co-host is Afternoon Antique Company.
Hold
Her
on,
name
I'll
is
comment.
Kylie. Her name is
You've
Kylie.
seen me before. I've been a mod a million times when you were in the room. Hello.
But yeah, we met probably at the very beginning of the at my whatnot career or whatever you would say. And
Forever.
she's just a sweet soul. And
Immediately loved your show. Like my husband, that's how my husband got into Whatnot. We were talking about it yesterday because Gumby sent me a bunch of questions, and I was going over the questions with my husband, who's in here. I'm pretty sure he's in here, Joe Shishkamo.
yeah, I
But
saw him.
yeah, we were going over the questions, and one of the questions was who has really shaped your Whatnot journey? And my husband immediately goes Gumby, like for himself, because like he wouldn't be on Whatnot if it wasn't for you. Like he loves to shop at your store. He doesn't go to other people's stores. Like he's been going into some other people. Like he goes into Penguin Boss, which is another friend of mine. She's amazing ephemera seller. She's just so sweet. She even sent me like a Christmas cake for Christmas, and I was like, "This is so unexpected. How
Well,
sweet of you!"
isn't that
So like
amazing how people do that for
I
you?
love it. I
I
love it.
know.
I
And
got a
y'all,
bunch of gifts.
when you had no idea I
Yeah.
was new to Whatnot
Nope,
when you
no clue.
joined, really, and that was
We
almost
joined
a year ago.
December 6th is when we joined, and I think that's the same day
I
you joined.
started my first show was December 5th.
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
started at the exact same time as us, and I was going into other people in the categories I wanted to sell in, and I saw your show, and we were in there for hours. We loved it. You had a great vibe. You had like just all the stuff, and like our stuff in on our shelves are kind of modeled after how you do your shelves. So like you very much inspired our store,
wow.
like entirely.
I take that as a compliment.
You did. You very much did.
Welcome in, Lisa.
So when you first join their shows, you know right away you want to keep coming back. That's Gumby. Yep, that is definitely true. Definitely true.
Now this here is a little bit different of an atmosphere. Now, after I found myself that after I removed the wig, I kind of mellowed out a little bit, and I
Cool.
don't want to. Yes, you're right, Tracy. Thank you, my friend. And I don't want to be that. I still want to keep that energy up. I mean,
Oh, you still
that
have it.
that's my thing. I like to say that I've got energy. You're gonna come into my room, whether I got 3 people in the room or I got 300 people in the room. I want to make sure that the interaction is happening.
Yes, you act the same whether you get rated by 200 people or you only have 4 people in the room. You're the same person. I feel like when I have only 4 people in the room, I get quieter and like I don't want to talk as much and I don't want to run things as much, but you don't care. You don't let it affect you. And I try to be like that. Like earlier today, I had I think like 12 or 15 people in my room for my ephemera show, and I was just popping out lots. Everyone was so excited. I was having fun. And then it trickled down to like 3 people, and I knew one of them was my husband and one of them was me.
So you knew there
So
was
it was
one
only
person
one
you're
other
talking
person,
to.
and I was like, I was really trying to push and just say like, okay, well, let me just pretend there's 100 people in the room.
Yeah,
So I try, but I do try to emulate you at times when I'm doing things. But yeah, sometimes Whatnot's slow. That's just how it is. But
it
if you don't
happens. I
treat
mean,
that one buyer the same way you would 100 buyers, then they're never going to
exactly.
come back.
And that's what happened last night for me. Matter of fact, I started at around 9 p.m. last night. Ended up running till 6 or 6:30 when we raided Hodge.
That's
So it
crazy.
was a nine. Thank you,
Yes,
Tracy. I
very
appreciate
true.
you. Yeah. And matter of fact, Tracy, we talked last night a little bit, and I'm gonna talk to the whatnot community about this here. I'm not sure, and I think I mentioned this to you, Kylie. I want to do a fundraiser for a charitable organization in the future. I'm still trying to figure out what Tracy, who is TP for Freedom, put an idea in my mind. So I'm going to be researching on that. And Tracy, I may be reaching out to you by messages, letting you know that, my friend. Um,
Okay.
to if we can get multiple people involved in. I've got some really good ideas, and she put in, and the idea. I'm not going to let it go right now because we want to kind of keep it under wraps. I'll talk to a few selected people until we get it all put together. But it's up here. It's up here. Yeah.
And I know you're too humble to talk about this. So for those of you who are kind of new to Gumby Land, I want to tell you about a time this is a time that we really got close. Was one time Gumby held a fundraiser out of the goodness of his heart. He had a friend who I still don't know who it is because he wants to keep the
I'm not gonna
respect for
tell
them,
you.
and that's fine. It's a thing. People can be embarrassed by this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there was a family friend of Gumby's who was suffering from financial issues, and they were going to lose their house, and they couldn't pay their mortgage, and it was several thousand. What was it, like $12,000 that they needed?
It started out 7,000, then they got a letter from the attorney because it didn't hit at a certain time. It jumped to 11,000 overnight.
Insane cost of living in this country, which makes no sense. No sense.
It doesn't.
So these people were about to lose their home, and Gumby said, you know what? And I don't think you guys realize, if you were able to see that fundraiser, he raised all that money, and all that money went to the family. So you have to think about the fact that Gumby, like, let's say like this, I bought this for money. Like, I paid good money for this item, and I'm going to sell it, but I'm not going to get any of that money. So he sold what, $14,000 worth of your own inventory?
7,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
$7,000 worth of your own inventory, and did not get any of that money. That all went to the other family, and they were able to pay their mortgage, and they're, I'm assuming, doing okay
And
now.
now they're back on track. Matter of fact, what had happened is, and it was an honest thing. It wasn't like they were being slack. It was just bad things happen to good people, right? I still get.
I know, it does, and that broke my heart, and we weren't doing super great at the time money-wise, but we knew that we had enough money to have a roof over our heads and food in our tummies and comfy beds, and we could spare a couple $100. So we sponsored, one of the sales was a genie bottle, we gave $250 so
That was
that we
nice.
could
That's
do
very
that.
sweet.
And
Yes.
that was my husband, honestly, because I'm a cheapskate, honestly. I was like, let's give him $50, and he's like, no, let's do $250. We can afford it. And I was like, you know what? Yes, let's do it. We can. So it was an amazing time, and everybody was brought together. There were hundreds of people just constantly tipping and buying and gifting and just all the time. And this was for a family friend. And I don't know if you guys know how hard it is to get money. If, like, the only way, if you're on your knees, have no money, the only way to get money is to do a GoFundMe or ask your family, and GoFundMe
Yeah.
takes your fees. So unless
Yeah.
you have a good friend like Gumby out there to do this for you, you're kind of screwed. So it was an amazing thing for the community to come together. Yes, exactly, Denise. Community to come
It
together and
was. It
help
was.
this family that they didn't even know, and they will never know, but they still did it anyway. And that's what's beautiful about that. So whatever this fundraising thing is that Gumby's planning, you're going to tell everyone who it's going to.
Yeah. I want this to be. My goal is to make this the biggest fundraiser that Whatnot has ever seen. And I think the cause that Tracy talked to me about last night, I think that this cause is very, very important, not just in my community, but in Kylie's community, probably nationwide, probably worldwide. But we can't, I hate to say it, we can't worry about the rest of the world right now. We got to start small, but I want to worry about the country, our country right now. And again, it's not political, so I'm not trying to say that. It's not political, but and I will never, I do my best never to get into the political side of it, but it's something that will help people. Yeah, one step at a time. Something that will help people, and I know people. I know people this has been affected by. I'm sure if I told you right now, you know people this has been affected by. It's something that's a serious, serious condition, and as things get worse, I guess financially or economically and stuff like that, this situation gets even worse. So yeah, so we can all do our part. So I'm gonna be reaching out to Tracy TP for Freedom. Kylie, I'm gonna keep you in the loop as well, my friend, because I know you were heavily involved in helping in that first fundraiser, and I see that as tiny. I see that as tiny. I want this to be
That was big.
freaking huge. So, but I can't do it by myself. That's why I'm trying to get it organized, right? Try to get it organized and have folks that have specific roles. So I'm gonna need people that want to help,
Mm-hmm.
that aren't gonna get any compensation for it. You don't get nothing for it. You get
No.
this. You get this.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna happen.
I'm sorry. It's gonna happen. It will.
Yeah.
It'll happen. So guys, hang with me. If you don't hear about it in a while, if you come to my shows, say, hey Gumby, how we looking on the thing you're putting together? Thank you, Red Rooster. And you know, and I know you're from Canada, but it's still, this is still something. I mean, maybe we can get it worked in there too. But I got to find a specific. It's very possible we can do U.S. and Canada. It's very possible. Very possible.
I mean, we all have the same problems, no matter what country you're in. That's very true.
Right. And a lot of my friends are Canadians. I didn't know. I didn't know you could be good friends with people that were in another country. I mean, I guess you could, but I never thought of that. But I have met so many people here and whatnot that are just amazing people, and I love them dearly. Yeah, you will receive far more for giving than not. That's absolutely true, Tracy. Absolutely true. And I think, I think this has got. I'd like to see this happen. Yes. I mean, I'm putting my time and effort into it. Now I'll still have to be doing my shows because I've invested in this right here. So I got overhead. I got overhead. You know, so I got to make sure I take care of that. So I'll still be doing my sales shows because I'm telling you, and I don't say this much, that show that I did, it took me a while. It took me a while to catch back up.
That's months.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, just the other month, I could say. But anyhow, enough of that. It's something I want to do, and I have a vision. I have a vision, and if y'all don't know me, I know I talk a lot. I'm sorry, Kylie. I know I talk a lot.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I very much expected us to just talk for hours. It's fine.
I am very goal oriented. If you've ever been to any of my shows, you could probably tell that. Because I set goals for myself, whether it be $1 sales goal or a number of sales last night, that kind of thing. I set goals because I want people to be involved. I want people to be involved. So I'm gonna set some serious goals once I get an idea of what's gonna happen. And it's going to happen. Once I set those goals, it's going to happen. I can promise you that.
I don't think I've seen you fail, honestly. Especially not with these people. Like, you've curated such a good community.
I can't do it by myself. I can't do it with just your help.
Yeah.
It's going to take maybe this spring. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I mean, right now, it's early January, right? I'm hoping to have a good idea of what we're going to do by the end of January. If I can get it figured out. That'll give us February and March. And I'm thinking the last time we did the fundraiser thing was in May. So I'm thinking, April, May kind of thing. That's how long it's going to take to make this work. That what I'm thinking. And I'll run it past you guys.
That's probably a good idea too, because in the summertime is when people are taking vacations and their kids are out of school and they don't have time to watch.
You want to do it before summer.
Yes, definitely.
But right now, you can't. I mean, the last one I threw together in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That was, oh my gosh.
And that was killer. That was amazing.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, and give you that time to recover on holidays. Exactly. I met a lot of folks that normally come into my rooms, and they like my stuff. Don't get me wrong, and they buy stuff, and I try to give them the best prices, but they're strapped. The holidays took it out of me. I can't. I want it, but I can't. And I try to say, I'm knocking it out. They still can't. So I get it. I do. I get it. So but guys, everybody's in here just talking. I love this. This is cool. This is cool. What do you think? What does everybody think about this? Is this something we want to do going forward, guys?
Would you watch this every month with it? Not with me. I'm not going to do it every month, but I'll come back again if you want me to.
Absolutely. Yeah, you come back again. Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Adele's in the house. How are you, Fred? Gabfest for the win. So
yeah, there's another seller. I don't know. Do you know What Liz Likes? The seller What Liz Likes?
Yes, I've heard of her. Yes.
Yeah, she does Motivation Mondays. that this kind of reminded me of. She does shows where she'll talk about reselling and, not everything. I don't agree with everything, but for the most part, she does some pretty good knowledge about like how to sell and whatnot, how to sell in general and, reselling and life in general. And this is and she gets a lot of people in the room. People love this kind of thing. So and I like to watch those shows too, because it's like, it's a break from buying all the time.
Right.
And
Right.
there's no pressure to buy. There's no
Zero.
like, hey, you gotta buy this, you gotta buy this. Because I'm a sucker for a good salesman, Gumby.
I
So,
appreciate that.
and there's just everybody can ask what they want and you can talk about real things and you can see the seller like a real person. Like, hello, hi, I'm a real person behind all the
Yeah,
auctioneer
you
jargon.
can meet new people in the chat. That's right.
Yeah.
It's really hard sometimes to meet people in a sales show.
Very much, because you're so busy. You're like, oh, there's 2 requests, there's 3 requests. Okay, hold on. I gotta make sure I do this giveaway, and like you gotta do it all at
Right,
once, and you
right.
have to remember, and like it's hard. It's hard.
And I tell you, who does a good job of that when they come into your, especially when they come to my show, is TP for Freedom. When she comes to my show, she knows she's welcome to say
Very much.
whatever she wants to say. She knows that.
Yeah.
Now, there are people that come in and start saying stuff, and I got to rein them in. I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about that because I know it's going to be all positive vibes.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. I want to make sure everybody comes in with positive vibes. But if we can get, with this thing, if we can get not just other sellers, I'm going to kind of give you a hint. If we can not just get other sellers involved in this, but we also get buyers involved prior to the auction.
That would be cool.
That's kind of a secret kind of vibe I'm going with. So I got to figure out how we can make that work. But if we can do that, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be
Yeah, because I
amazing that we
have a
can do
lot of
it.
people who are just buyers. They have no interest in selling whatsoever. They don't want to do it. It's not
Yeah,
their thing
right.
at all. And that's fine because it's a big deal. Like it's a lot of work to do all
Oh
this.
gosh,
So like,
oh my gosh.
yeah, it's literally 24 hours a day. I'm always laying in bed thinking about the next thing I can
And I
do for
work
my
a real
business.
job. I work a real
Yes,
job
and oh
too.
my God, I can't. I cannot. This is my full time. I don't know how the heck you do it. Like you are killing it in life and whatnot. I can't do it. Can't
Yeah,
do it.
my mornings start at 4 o'clock in the morning. I get up. I'm
Mm-mm.
on the road by 5 a.m. heading to an hour and 15 minutes away. I start at the plant at 6:30 in the morning. I
Whew.
work there until 3 o'clock. I'm always on call 24/7. But I leave at 3 o'clock. The traffic on the way home is a bit later. So it's 4:30 p.m. me getting home. So I'm gone. I'm gone for 12 hours basically.
Jeez.
And then
Can't do it.
that's why when people say, "Can you do a train at 5:30?" I'm like, "Oh gosh, if I don't hit traffic, I might could."
Yeah.
But if
Can
I
I
hit
start in
traffic,
my
I'm
car?
screwed.
Yeah, can I
So
start on the road and then once I get home, I'll walk you into
right,
my place?
right. I've actually thought about doing that as in the car, setting up the phone and just doing a driving with Gumby or something like that. Driving and riding or something of that nature. But
Yeah.
Tracy, you just don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know. Maybe you
You're
do.
always
Maybe you
thinking
do.
that. And even when you're not physically doing it, like even when you take a moment for yourself, and I put quotes around that because we're not really taking a moment for ourselves. We're still like gears are still turning in our heads.
Thinking,
We never
thinking.
stop. It's
Never
all the
stop.
time. Because this is our
Never stop.
livelihood. We put our face on this, we put our money into this. Like this is it. This is our stuff. So you just got to do it. And it's crazy. Even when you go to the mall to play golf, you find resale items. Yes, that was us the other day. Was that yesterday? I lose track of time. That's how busy I am all the time with this. But we went to the mall for my birthday. My birthday's not for a couple weeks, but I went there just
Toaster,
to
welcome in,
have
my
fun.
friend.
Hey, Tom. But we went there and we went into a store and my mom was like, "Let me buy you something for your birthday." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I pick out this sweater and then I see that there's like a discount. It was buy one, get 3 free in the clearance. And I was like, "Oh God," the numbers started crunching. And I was
Yeah,
like, "Okay,
right.
so I can buy this and this and this and this and this and this, and it'll only cost me this much." And I was calculating in my head. So we
And
ended up, yeah,
I can
hot
sell it for
topic.
this much.
Yes, exactly. So we ended up buying, I'm not going to tell you how much because I'm going to sell them on whatnot, but we ended up buying 3 brand new Loungefly backpacks. Thank you, Ron. For like very little.
Ron.
Yeah, what about him? But we bought 3 different brand new backpacks, and then I got, like, a purse also, and I bought it for, like, a quarter of what I can sell it for on eBay. So I was like, "Oh my god," and I'm supposed to be celebrating for myself, like, I
Right,
can't
right.
help it. It's all the time, all
Hmm.
the time. Yes,
And
you are green and red. Christmas
yes,
colors.
yeah. And Tulsa Ron could probably associate this too because he was running all night last night as well. We run side
Jeez
by side the
Louise.
last 2 weeks. Um,
Oh gosh.
but I got up. See, that was Saturday, right? I'm still trying to figure out what day it is. Tomorrow's Monday, right? Yeah. Um, I got up Saturday morning about 5 o'clock in the morning. I had a pick to go through. It was raining. It didn't turn out too well, so I did some drive around, hit some thrift stores, that kind of stuff. Didn't hit on too much. Um, Come home, had some stuff I had to do around the house because you still have to do stuff around the house. You still got to
You still have
do
to eat.
stuff, right?
You have to
Right?
eat, and you have to sleep, and you have to shower, and you have to
Yeah,
brush your
and you
hair.
got to
Well, you
fix the
know.
door if the hinges are messed up or something like that. That
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Well, that's what
Um,
hubby's for.
yeah, but I am the hubby. You see, I'm the hubby. so so that happens, and anyhow, long story short, I took a nap from like seven
Oh,
to 8 o'clock last night. Was it last night? Yeah, the night before I started running. I woke up, had my alarm set. I got up. I tell you, I didn't feel it. It's
oh,
one of them power naps you normally have. I woke up and I felt like, oh gosh, I could just go back to bed. It's eight
yep.
o'clock at night, right? I shouldn't be going to my shop. I shouldn't be going to my shop at 8 o'clock at night. But I trudged through, got up at 8 o'clock, started running right about 9 o'clock. I think we ended. Tracy was with me. We rated Hodge. I'm not sure it all run together. I think we rated Hodge at 6:30 a.m. I think.
Jeez.
Um, I didn't get home into bed. I remember my last message I sent something was like a 7:45 or something like a.m.
Oh gosh.
So
Did you go to work
then
today?
I slept. No, I didn't work today. Day Saturday, so I
Okay.
didn't work today. I slept for 2 hours. I got
Oh,
up and I packed 39 boxes with 119 items. And Tulsa did too as well.
jeez,
Yeah.
Louise.
So, and I just finished, I don't remember what time I said, I finished probably 6 o'clock p.m. maybe. And that's why the times we talked about 7:30, right? They all run together on me. Yeah, and Tulsa he's got his antique
Oh, you had to
and
work.
shop, so he's got to work, right?
Yep.
So, but I've got to figure these Saturday nights out because Saturday nights are the nights for me. Um, they are, yeah, he told me he fell asleep. Nobody came in the store, but he fell asleep. But that's it. Saturday nights are the nights for me. And I just tell you, I love it. I love it. I love the working all night kind of thing. But I got to figure out the time. I got to figure out how to manage my time a little bit better. I
I
love
need
it.
to I need to get on the nighttime thing because I think the latest show I've ever done was probably
Write it
3 or
down.
4 PM. Like, 4 PM is the latest
Really?
show I've ever done. Yes,
Really?
I am AfternoonAntiqueCo,
Oh yeah,
but
that's
I
right. Forget
really
about that.
do I think I need to do a couple nighttime shows because that's when I'm online, when I'm shopping. Like, I'm
Right.
on my phone and I'm like, "Hey, let's see who's on. I'm bored. I'm eating dinner, watching TV, like, what's going on?" So, I think I need to do some nighttime shows for sure.
Because you think at three
It's
o'clock
a
in the
whole
morning,
different audience.
it's only midnight on the West Coast.
That's true. That is very true. I don't have that many West Coast buyers because I'm on so early. I'm
That's
always
why.
on at like noon to 3
Well, you're
at
at noon
like
o'clock. It's 9 o'clock in the morning their time.
exactly, and they're like still drinking their coffee. Like, I don't want to listen to this crazy orange-haired girl talk at 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to listen to this.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, I think people might enjoy me more at night. Yeah, you definitely I was laying in bed, it was like 12:30 and, my husband and I were laying in bed and we were watching TV because I know you're not supposed to do that, but that's just how we get to bed.
Right.
And we just weren't falling asleep, so I, like, opened my phone and he opened his phone and he accidentally clicked on your show. And he was
Right.
like, "Oh, wait, this is Gumby. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. What's he doing on?" And so I scrolled in there and I clicked on it. We were only there for, like, 30 minutes, and then I was like, "Okay, we have to go to
I
bed.
think
I
it's when you
need
after you say
to
you got to go.
sleep."
Yeah, you got to go. I think so.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, "We need to go to bed," but we could have definitely you are definitely energizing. We could have stayed on all night and never went to
It was
sleep
so
and
much
probably
fun
would have
last
just been
night.
fine.
For y'all, for
Yeah.
everybody that's in my show last night, it was so much. there was so much love. It was
Oh,
amazing. There was so much love. I've been to shows where people gift each other, right? But everybody was gifting everybody.
oh, I love that. TP for
It
Freedom
was
is the gifting
amazing.
queen. Tracy gifts like
Oh
crazy. I
gosh,
love
oh
it. She's
gosh,
so
and
sweet.
I
So
love
sweet.
Tracy. I love Tracy, but I'm telling you, when it comes to shipping, um, Venezuela's in the house. When it comes to shipping, oh gosh, I got a cramp in my leg. That's all. When it comes to shipping, after Tracy has gifted, because sometimes she doesn't just gift. She says, "Oh, that thing I won, send it to such and such," right?
Yeah, so
So
it's like you gotta keep.
so I'm like, gosh, I'm writing notes, and I hope I got them
Yeah,
all right. I hope I
yeah.
got them all right because they're all shipped, they're all
No,
boxed. So
you're
if
keeping him young, Tracy. It's fine. You're keeping his mind sharp. You're fine. You're
if I
fine.
sent something that somebody gifted in the chat, not through the sales to somebody else, I'm sorry, they gotta give, right? Because it's tough. When you have 119 items and you have 9.5 hours worth of stuff, it's
Yeah,
hard. No, you're not, Tracy. You're not. I absolutely love it.
no.
I love it. It keeps me on my toes.
And it's
Keeps
fun
me
'cause
on
it's
my
funny every
toes.
time that sound comes up, the random gifting sound, it's like bloop, 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 bloop. You're always
Yeah.
like, "What was that? What was that?" Like you've never heard it before, and you hear it a million times, but you're still always like, "What was that?"
So yeah, it's Venezuela. If Venezuela and Tulsa were very instrumental in that first um,
Fundraiser.
fundraiser. Yeah. Gosh, sorry. I'm running off 2 hours of sleep.
I
Sorry.
gotcha. I gotcha.
But yeah, they were very instrumental in that. They were, yeah, it was crazy. Venezuela couldn't make it all the way through the night. She tried. She
I don't think
tried.
I did either. I don't remember.
But
I think I was there for all but
my
an
buddy
hour.
Ron hung with me the whole time.
Yes.
My buddy Ron hung with me the whole time. And
Yeah.
it was an amazing adventure. And Diana, I don't know if you heard or not, but I'm setting the ball rolling for another one that's going to be, in my opinion, if it works out, the biggest fundraiser that Whatnot's ever seen. That's the plan.
Is it gonna be a train or is it all gonna be on
No,
your channel?
no, not gonna
Just
be a
on you?
train.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
because and the reason for that, because I'm a control freak. Okay, I'm a control freak, and that's the
Me.
honest to God's truth.
I
Okay,
gotcha.
um, if rate trains are great for if you're selling for yourself, but if you're going for a
Right.
common goal,
Right.
I want to make sure it's done right. And I just think, again, without going into details, it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be a huge freaking. I mean, right now Hodge is running a 24-hour thing, and going for a world record. I mean, I don't care about the number of sales. The number of sales aren't going to matter. It's going to be the dollar amount of sales that we're able to give to the charity. So
Exactly.
if we could take, yes, right, that's correct. The last time we did, tips did not exist. That is correct. We had to
That's
create tips.
true.
I had to create tips by
Mhm.
buying a, well, I can't remember what I called it. Buying a share the love or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all did that, so y'all know what you're talking
Bless
about.
the family, that's what it was.
Bless the
Bless
family,
the
yeah.
family.
Send a blessing or something like that, right? So I had separate increments, but I had to send something. So, and it made it tough for the Canadians because the Canadians bought. I had to send them something. It got over there to customs, and they even had to pay money on top of that because to get the light. It's just because they paid 250, so technically, or 100 or whatever it may have been. So that item coming into Canada had to be go through their customs or tax for that dollar amount. Even though they didn't really give them, they gave money away. So, but it's still, again, Canadians still can't tip. Canadians still can't tip.
Yep.
So
And you can't tip them. I hate that.
they can tip on their own country, on their own in
Yep.
Canada to Canada, but we can't tip them. They can't tip us. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, they are
Right?
donating.
Yeah.
I think
Exactly,
Hodge is
Tracy.
doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's doing the tips for the vets, and then also 10% of the proceeds are going to vets also. So that's
Right.
pretty cool.
But I want to work on the proceeds. Like the last time, I donated everything, time, everything, and I can't do that. I can't.
Please don't.
Not if this is
Please
going to be
don't.
as big as I want it to be.
Let it be a percentage, not 100. 100's
Well,
too much.
I
It's
just
not
want enough.
realistic.
I just want enough to cover my time and any shipping
Exactly.
materials and that kind of stuff. That's it. That's it. I don't want to make anything off of it.
You
That's
could
not the
always say
goal.
all proceeds after fees.
Yeah, and I may just have to say a percent because I figure a certain percent may it cost. First off, Whatnot takes 20, basically. That's how I look at it.
Much.
If I sell $100 worth, most likely Whatnot gets $20.
Yep.
It varies depending on how the dollar amount of the sale, right? Because they always get that 29 cents each transaction. That's why the low dollar sales aren't that great, percentage wise.
Horrible.
I mean, used to be you could sell. A dollar sale, you can't make nothing if it sells for $1. You lose money.
Yeah.
You lose money not on the item, but as well. Yes, we all need to ask for help. Exactly, you're right. 1% cover drinks and snacks. Oh man, your husband's a nut. You know that? He's a nut, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Wait till he comes on camera with his antics. He's downstairs right now. He said he'll come up eventually.
Okay, tell him whenever he's ready. We'll be here for a while. I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah, sitting right here.
But this is fun. This is fun, guys. And I'm not trying to make this into a donation. What we call it again? Fundraiser show. That's not what it's about. This is about y'all. You put that big thick thing on again.
Wearing my glasses.
Look at his glasses, y'all. Look at
very clearly. They were just looking right at me, just begging me to put them on.
But first of all, guys, if y'all aren't following Afternoon Tea Company, make sure that you are giving her a follow. Tap on her name. If you can throw your flames up or something. There we go. Tap on her name. Make sure you guys are following her. Make sure you're following her. She has, again, afternoon shows. They're tough for me to get to because I'm normally working during the day.
Mark my words, I will do an evening show sometime soon, probably February. I will do an evening show.
I want to do a giveaway show. I want to do a giveaway train. I like the giveaway trains. I really love them.
Yeah, those are fun.
I love them. That's something that I want to do in the near future. Not, I don't know when. I've got. You know how me. You know what I'm saying?
A million ideas flying through your head.
I got a million ideas.
Yep.
I need to write them down. If I write them down, I'll forget where I put them. Sorry, that's not any good.
Very true. Put it in your phone. Put it in your phone.
Deb, I will count on you, my friend. Deb, where are you located? I can't remember.
That is my friend Dawn. She is a seller in New Jersey.
She's okay. New Jersey. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, she has a ton of inventory. She does mostly vintage decor, but she also sells ephemera, and she's a variety person.
Variety is the spice of life. That's the way to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I love when people come to my show and go, "Do you have such and such?" I go,
Pokemon cards?
Yeah, but let me figure out where I put it.
Yeah, that's me too.
There are times I don't do a lot of. I got sports cards like crazy, but everybody always asks me about sports cards. I don't have time to go through them things. But I have them.
I have a huge, it's like a foot-long box of baseball cards that I only bought so that if someone comes in and says, "Do you have any baseball cards?" I can say, "There, buy them." I spent $10, give me $25, and that's it.
You have some sports cards.
I don't care.
Y'all don't want to see mine. I've got probably 100 pounds of them.
Jeez Louise. I think that's like 2.5 pounds, and that's about the most I will ever buy. I am not a fan.
Them shoe boxes, the boxes, right? Like that?
Yep.
I've got about 8 or 10 of those at least.
Woo! No, thank you. And I have no interest in going through that.
No, me neither.
I'm not a sports person.
No,
I used to love watching football, and then I grew up and I was like, this is dumb, old men smashing heads together. I don't care, and I don't care about the cards. There's no, and I don't want to look it up because, like, the weird thing about it is it's similar to coins, which I'm not a huge person into coins. My husband is, but, like, each coin, you have to look at it so detailed. What's the condition? What number is it? What blah, blah, blah. And that's how the baseball cards are too. It's like, I don't know. There's too many
graded, right? Yep.
There's too many variations and it stresses me out. I'll stick to my basic stuff.
I remember years ago when I was a kid, we collected the baseball cards and we just had them in a shoebox.
Yeah.
We didn't care, we didn't realize that messed the corners up. Oh my gosh, the corners are rounded, or it's got a little
Yeah.
crease. Oh my gosh. Nowadays, it's got to be perfect.
Yeah, like Dawn said, she said, she's not really she doesn't wanna pick up things that she's not well versed in or that she doesn't have an interest in collecting, and I've definitely been doing that recently.
I
Like,
get
some
that.
things I
I
will
get
still pick
that.
up.
However, with how I do
Yeah,
stuff,
I'm sorry.
how I do stuff though, I've got to have a variety. So it's not, I mean,
Yeah.
like we discussed the other day about a show you have coming, shows you have coming up. I don't have a great deal of knowledge about most of the stuff that I have. I
I
know I
know a
like
little
it.
bit about everything.
I
A
like it. I
little
know I
bit of
like it.
everything.
I know if
Yeah.
I like it, most likely somebody else will like it.
Yeah, my process is I will usually get an item and then I'll photograph it and then I'll go research it with the photos that I just took. And
Right?
I'll just scan it lightly on the surface and be like, "Oh, this is from Pittsburgh, cool, and they were made in the 50s." Whatever. That's all I care about. But then sometimes I will get into you would donate to sell. Oh, I would love that. That would be
See,
cool. That would help. I
Tracy,
think that's kind of what we were talking about.
Tracy, that's kind of where we're going. That's
Yeah.
kind of where we're going.
So yeah,
But what?
there's other items that like I'll go into a rabbit hole about it. Like if it's really something that I like this crazy honeycomb vase back here, if I really like it and I'm like, wow, what is that? Where's it from? Who made it? Why was it made? Who was it for? And like I'll go in a rabbit hole. So some things
Not
you like
me.
and some
Not
things you
me.
don't. Yeah, it's just some things. It's not everything. But
Hey,
I
Sue,
like
welcome
to
in.
know about stuff. I like to know a little bit about my stuff. But
Yeah,
not
I
all
get that. I get that.
I don't
People
have enough
always ask
room.
me, the marbles, are they old? I don't know. Are they?
I don't
You
know.
tell me. Are they old?
Yeah,
I
but
can
that's
I
what's
can tell
good
you if they
too,
glow or not. That's about all I can do.
and that's good too because you're not trying to pretend that you're, like, an expert in marbles and, like, "Oh, this one was made in this exact year, and I know that because it has this dent here." Like, who
Yeah,
cares? I don't know. I
I
don't
don't have a
know. That's for
clue.
you
Right.
guys.
Don't
That's
have a
your
clue. And you know
thing.
what? Another thing too is a lot of folks, and I try not to be. I make sure I'm not that way when I go to somebody's show. There's a lot of buyers out there that are very condescending if you don't
Yeah,
know what you're selling about. But
that's
so
true.
if you're a seller out there and you don't know what item that you're selling, just say so. It doesn't
Exactly.
matter
There
because
was
everybody
something the
doesn't
other
know
day.
everything.
Yeah, there was something the other day, it was a little bit of a no-no. I won't tell you whose show it was in or who said it or anything, but there was a seller who was selling a book, and it was one of those little golden books, and everyone was like, "Oh, is
Wow.
that a first edition? Is that a first edition?" And the seller was like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know, just buy it. It's $5, who cares?"
Right.
And one of the people said, "Oh, that's not a first edition," and they were very confident about it, and somebody else said, "Flip to the very back," and we learned that in the very back of golden books, if there's a letter R, it means it was a later edition. If there's a letter A on the very last page, it was a
Huh.
first edition. So he opens it to the back page and there it was. It said A. And that book sold for like $30, $40. It was super expensive. And then somebody said, wow, that would have went for like 50 or 60 on eBay. And the person who originally didn't actually accurately identify it as a first edition said, well, maybe to the right person. And it was like really condescending. And everyone's like, who
Yeah.
are you? Get out of here.
Yeah. What does it matter? Well, and they're also too. They're trying to downplay stuff. They're trying to get things for cheap.
Yeah,
You
very
know.
true.
I mean, I understand not giving information. If I'm a buyer, to be perfectly honest and transparent, and I see something I know has value, I,
I
I
won't
don't
say a
I don't
word.
know if I'm going to tell that seller. I don't know.
Nope. Nope.
I don't think so. If this cowbell right here is worth $100 and they're selling it for 5, I'm not going to say, "Hey, Mr. Seller, that cowbell is worth 100." Now,
Can I still have it for 5?
yeah, right. I may bid it up a little bit to make
Yeah.
my to make myself feel a little bit better, you know. But now, if the chat gets talking about it's worth more, then I'll just time out and wait till they
Yep.
finish. And then if they decide to sell it for that price, I'll bid. But
Yeah, but, like,
I,
sometimes it depends, like, if I get a really good deal for something and, like, for example, that, what was it? I bought a bunch of ephemera from Tall's actually, because he doesn't sell ephemera. And he was like, I
Right.
don't want to deal with this. You do it. I don't want to deal with it. I'll give you a great deal on it. If you make any money off of it, just, give me something cool in return.
Right.
Like we made a
Sure.
deal. And we found out that one of the items, just one item in there, was worth 3 times what we paid. And there were at least 50 more items. So as soon as we sell that item, we'll give a nice little tip to Tall's, give him some
Sure.
dinner or
Sure.
something.
Yeah.
Just as like a thank you. But like other than that, like if you're a crappy seller, I'm not doing that.
Right.
If you're a
And
mean
I
person, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and I've done that stuff on picks. I go out and do a
Yeah,
picking,
exactly.
and if there's one gym in there, and I find it,
Mhm.
I will after the fact say, hey man, I will let you know that cowbell you sold me for $10, I sold for $250. I'll let them
Yep,
know, and then say, here's a little something. I said I don't have to do this.
exactly.
However, next time when you got stuff to sell, you know who to call.
Yeah,
You'll call
yeah.
me. And that's
Because
called
like
building
if I sell
relationships, guys.
something, yeah, if I sell something for $5 and it ends up selling for
Exactly, Tracy.
$150, I don't expect them to give me the money. That was my own fault for selling it for that
Yeah,
cheap. I
yeah.
didn't do the research. I didn't make the money. Big whoop. So if I get something out of it in the end, that's awesome. But
And
otherwise, I don't care. I already sold it. Go
yeah,
for it.
and Deb said something. You never call it out. You never call it out.
No.
And then you have, again, I'm not trying to knock people down, so we don't say names, but there are people who come in and try to lowball you. That are resellers. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to get at a certain price so they can make a buck off of it. But we're resellers too. So we need to make a buck off it too. But they'll come in, they'll try to lowball you, and then you go to their shows, and they're up here, and you see something you want, and you talk to them. Oh nope, it's $100 regardless.
Yeah.
Wait, wait,
Yeah.
wait just a dang minute. You coming to my show? So it's got to be some give and take out here, guys. You got to be some give and take.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do this in your shows all the time. Like if it's something that I don't want and I'm in a seller's show that I like, oh, thank you, Red Rooster.
How how did you do that, Red Rooster? How
Oh
did
yeah,
you do
you're
that?
Canadian. How did you do
Yeah,
that? Did they change it?
explain,
Do you have a
Lucy.
secret
You
American
got some
phone?
explaining to do.
Do you have a secret American phone?
I think she does. She
You
changed
changed
her
your
address.
address. Genius. Genius. Yes, exactly, Sue. So, like, a lot of resellers will buy from me too, and some of them are my friends. And we've talked about this before. Like, if a friend of mine buys something from me and then they sell it again, I don't care. I
I
already
don't
made the
care. Right.
money.
I don't
You
care.
have
Right.
fun. If you can get 100 out of
Right.
something you paid 20 for, go for it. I'm happy for you because I already got my money's worth. It doesn't matter. Um, yeah, I've definitely
Yeah.
done that. But like when people, if I come into another seller's show and someone's doing the change it to the White House. If someone's doing a show and someone's in there lowballing, like for example, let's say you're trying to sell a genie bottle that's worth 200 and I know it for a fact because I've sold it myself for 200 and someone's like, I'll give you $20. I'll come in and I'll say, that sold for 200, right? And I'll say
Yeah.
that for the seller. But if I want
Sure.
it, I'm not
Sure.
saying a word. I'm not
Right.
saying a
Right.
word.
I had
Yeah,
someone
I'm
come
not
in
here
last
to
night.
ring everybody. Yeah, that's very true.
I had someone come in last night. I had specific goals set for a certain number of sales, right? Not dollar wise, but after every 10 sales, I had an item already pinned that we're going to sell for $1.
How much did
And
that uranium cup go for? The 30th sale.
it didn't go for much.
What?
11,
Dang it, I wanted
$12.
that.
It,
I
it didn't
didn't
go for much
pre-bid.
at all.
I
I
keep
got two
forgetting to
more of them.
pre-bid.
I got two more of them.
Oh, cool.
So, but I had them all set. But then somebody come in and said, go ahead and run item number, it was my ZZZ, what it was. Run ZZZ 7. I said, I'm not doing that until we hit 70 sales. I guess they didn't understand. Yeah, it's called having tact, right, Madhouse? It's called having tact. So, and we always got to have tact. But then they started saying, well, just run something at $1. I'm like,
Why?
why? I would never go into anyone's stream and say, hey, Afternoon Tea Company, that item you have in the catalog for 20? How about you start at $1?
Oh my gosh. Or
Why?
I had a friend who was selling photographs, and there's another seller, I won't say who, but there's another seller who will come in and try to do that to us. And they will be like, "Hey, I saw you had a lot of 10 photographs for 25. Would you sell just 3 or 4 of them individually? You should sell them each for $1." And like it's like, "Why? Leave me alone.
Yeah,
I'm not going to spend 25 minutes
right.
selling you all these photos. Just buy them all now. It's cheaper and just do it. Stop it." Yes, for
Right,
yeah.
right, Red Rooster. Right, Red Rooster. You gotta there's nothing wrong with selling stuff cheap. There's nothing wrong with selling stuff cheap. I've
Yeah.
been known for making deals. Okay? I make deals again. Because if I only have $3 in it and I'm happy selling it for 10, even if it's worth 20, I'm
Yep.
happy. I made my money. Now you as a reseller can make another 10 if you want to.
And that was kind of like so we got inspired to do this kind of thing because my grandparents, they were very poor. And today's actually would be my grandma's 82nd birthday. So happy birthday, grandma.
Happy
But
Granny.
my grandma and grandpa lived in a really tiny town in Pennsylvania, and they were very, very poor. They made very little money. I don't even know. It's less than $1,000 a month, probably less than $500 a month. So, so poor. So they would go to the dump or the garbage junkyard, whatever, and they would dig. And my grandpa would dig for items and bring them home and clean them off, and he would put them up and display them, and he got them for free. And he got them for free. And this is our big old look at this thing. Look at this thing. It's huge. It's huge. Yeah, the handle's really cool too. It's like twisted. Very cool. Um,
I don't
but
hardly ever
yeah,
say this, but Kylie's is much bigger than mine.
We have one of the ones that light up too, that clamps to the desk.
we do have the light up ones.
After the
Yeah.
I need to get one.
But yeah,
It's a godsend.
my grandparents were so poor, and when we were cleaning out their house after they passed away, my grandma was very much a planner, and she put a piece of tape on the bottom of everything in her house, and she had a lot. I don't know if you guys know what cluttercore is, but it's basically Gumby's shop is cluttercore. It's everything's cluttered, but it's like put together in a way. It's still displayed and organized. So that was her house, and every item
The
had someone's
parts
name.
you see, the parts you
Yes,
see.
yes. We don't talk about what's under the desk. We don't talk about that. But yeah, so like she had everything labeled with who gets what at the end of her life.
Oh
And so
wow.
one of those items was a set of wooden bears, and my brother collects bears. So she put my brother's name on the bottom. And just to see what it was worth, we looked it up, and my grandpa got this in a junkyard. They are worth over $3,000.
Wow.
They are rare
Wow.
pieces made by a Swedish, very famous Swedish woodworker. And we're not selling them yet, but we always say like, oh, if we're in a tough spot, we always have
There's
the
always money
bears.
in the bears.
There
Yeah,
you
there's
go.
always
Right,
money in
right.
the bears. So like they kind of inspired us to make antiques accessible to people because if things weren't so expensive, my
It's a
grandpa didn't have to
collection.
dig in the trash. Like he wouldn't have had to go through the trash to find something nice for his wife if things like that were more accessible. So like
Agreed. Yeah.
if we paid $2 for this, it's worth about 60 because it's a very difficult thing. But I'm fine selling it for 20 because it's
Sure.
cool and I want someone
Sure.
else to be able to have it without having to like literally not be able to pay rent that month. So I want to make antiques accessible to people, and I think you do too, and that's why I think we get along.
If you get something for a
I think
penny,
if you
sell it for $1, then they can sell it for 5, and then the
And
person
it
can
just
sell it
keeps
for
right, and
going.
20,
so
and
on
then
and so on,
whoever's
right.
profit on it.
It's capitalism
Everyone gets to
also.
share it.
This is my husband.
What's up?
I told you he would do this. So wait, comment real quick so that they can look at your
Oh,
profile picture. I got him this hat for Christmas because that is his profile picture. If you click on his profile, that's the thing from Monty Python, is the
I am
character.
an enchanter.
That's one of the characters. And
Some call me
it's hilarious.
Jim.
Um, yes, that's very true. Sometimes, obviously, we are no crazy lamp lady. We are no niche lady. We are no,
I've had a few of those moments though where I
yes,
had that
every
laugh.
now and then.
Where I
I just
had that
do
Every
laugh.
one show like her to make a little bit of
Just
money,
one.
and then that's all I care about.
Just one
Just to
show
sell
where I
stuff
can
that's worth stuff.
one show where I can sell a paperweight for $50. One show.
There was something I sold. I can't remember what it was, but something I sold that wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. Oh, I'm
The
not.
little
Yeah.
the bird.
Yes. You know what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh! I'm not even gonna say what it was, but I showed it, and 2 people got into a freaking bidding war over it. It was
And they're not worth that, but they were
no.
worth that much to them at that time, and that's what matters. That's what matters.
It
Yeah.
started
I
at $2.
I
Started at
love Cardinals and
$2,
I love blue. What are they called? Blue Jays?
Blue Jays.
And I
and I
love Blue
think I
Jays.
sold
And
it for
if I had a house
35
full of
bucks.
stuff, I would definitely spend that money on
Yeah,
it.
they were cool.
Yeah.
They were cool, yeah. Again, they were worth that to them at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I had to let a little lamp let me laugh. You know, I
A little
mean,
bit like,
it
is
is
that
what
what
it is.
it feels like all the time?
Can you? I
Wow.
can't imagine that.
She's
Because
probably
you know,
immune to it.
I
She
very rarely
probably
go
is
to her shows.
immune to
But
it
when
by
I do
now.
watch her, she laughs every single
Yeah.
auction. She laughs.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Has a little smirk going on. I mean, I love
And
her.
one
Hey, God
day,
bless her. She got herself to that point, right? God bless
yeah,
her.
she worked hard. And, I don't ever expect me to be at that point. I honestly don't think I want to be at that point because my heart rate would be going
I
nuts,
do.
like
I do.
constant.
I
Oh,
do.
heck
I'll
no.
tell you right
Every
now, I do.
social media forever. No, thank
I
you.
can't do it. That's not what I want. I would lose my mind. I would feel so nervous. I'd be sweating bullets. I couldn't do it. I like to.
See,
I think
I
I'll
think
just
that's where
stay
you and I
small.
differ. That's where you and
Yeah,
I differ.
I
I
could see
I
you being big like that.
I love it. I'm not gonna say attention. I love the fact that I can be influencing people.
That's true.
That's what you're doing. You're not necessarily you're being an influence on people. So if you're a good person, which I hope I come across as a good person, if I have 300 people in there, I can spread more love to 300 people than I
That's
can
true.
to 30 people.
That's true. I've always
It's not
wanted to.
all about the big dollars. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. It comes with it. But that's not what it's all about,
Yeah,
in my
it's not
opinion.
that I want to be famous, but I think
No.
I would like to
Make
be
some good
known
friends.
so that I can use my power for good. You know? Did you hit 100 last night? 100 sales?
119,
Oh,
Chadwick.
nice. Yeah, but like I would like to be able to not even with the sales, but I would like to just hold a fundraiser one day and know that I'm going to make my goal immediately. No doubt in my mind.
Right,
Or
right.
like I'd love to just one day something bad happens to somebody and I come on and I tell everyone about it and they love it. So, it'd be nice to have that, but I think I also would not enjoy it because there are some not so great people out there.
Yes, Sue, I
Um,
did.
Ignore
Yes, Sue, I
them.
did.
You just ignore them.
I know, yeah, right. But sometimes you can't ignore people because they come to your house, or it's like like there's a certain seller that I'm sure you guys know about, that had like the cops called on her and animal control and just people being awful to each other just for no reason, out of pure jealousy. And
Oh
it's
yeah, I
called
think so. Yeah.
doxing. Yeah, and it's called doxing. So like some people do that because they're just mean people, mean-spirited, so I'm scared of that. I think that's why I don't wanna get
Yeah.
big. I'd like to stay small with my peoples, so
And
I
that,
can
that makes
remember their
sense. That
names.
makes sense because along with what you call popularity comes potential drama.
True.
I'm not a drama person. I don't want
Mm-mm.
drama. Not one shred of drama. I don't want it. There's no need
Mm-mm.
for it. There's no reason for drama in anybody's life. None. At
This
least
isn't that
not
high
out in a
school.
public view.
I left that behind in high school. No, thank
Right.
you. I wasn't
Right.
even a part of it in high school. I didn't want to, but you're kind of pulled into it in high school.
My mother-in-law still talks trash
She
about like the people
does.
she worked with like 15 years ago. And
My
I'm like,
mom does
why?
too. I know you're listening, Mom, but she does. She'll bring up drama from like 20 years ago, and I'm like, how do you remember this, but you don't
Yeah.
remember what you had for breakfast? What, like, where is these compartments in your brain?
Right,
I had
Tracy.
bacon and
Mods
cheese
eliminate
today.
drama once you give
Very
it. That's
true.
absolutely true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
absolutely true.
But like everybody, no matter how, even if you're small, there's always going to be someone out there that doesn't like you or doesn't agree with you, and you need to just learn to accept it. And that's okay because I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Just don't fight
Nope.
with them.
Just don't feed
That's
into
what they
it.
want.
Yeah, you
So,
don't ever feed into it. So if somebody doesn't like me, see ya, friends.
Oh
That's
well. Right.
fine.
And
yeah.
Oh well.
Use
I
logic
know there's
once. If
people
they don't
out
accept
there
it, just say
in
good luck.
whatnot world. They goes, oh my gosh, that Gumby guy. Oh my god.
I
Right?
can't imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah. There are. I guarantee there are. But you know
Probably.
what?
There's probably people
Here's
that
how
say
I
the
look
same
at it.
thing.
If they come into my room I'm going to treat them, even if I know, I'm going to
Same.
treat them the exact same way I want to be treated in anybody's show, with dignity, all right, and respect. That's how you do it.
Serious
With
conversation.
dignity and respect every time you go into anybody's show, and
Yes.
that's what I'm going to offer. Now, granted,
Yes.
if somebody comes into my show and starts bullying
Oh,
or
absolutely.
being
No way.
obscene, they're gone. No ifs,
Yes.
ands, or buts.
But until then, you're welcome. Everyone's welcome.
Right,
'Cause
right. And
there's a little bit of.
even go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said, and even if they do come in, and I warn them, I'll warn them and say, "Hey, man, we don't do that here."
Yes.
If they don't
I've
pick up
heard you
on
say
that,
that.
if they don't pick up on that and they do it again, they're gone. However, if they pick up on it and they chill, for lack of a better word, I'm good. They didn't
Yeah.
do anything wrong, in my opinion. They come in thinking that's how we talk in Gumby's house. We don't
Right.
talk that way in Gumby's house.
Right. And there are some sellers in certain categories that do that kind of thing where they talk about other sellers and name them, and they'll
Yeah.
talk about buyers and name them.
Why?
And I know these people,
Why?
and I'm not about that. But they didn't say that in my show, so I'm not going to block them. And I'm not going to say, like, oh, you can't come into my show because I've seen you somewhere else. Like, no, it's fine. You can come into my show. If you do it here, see ya. But otherwise, come on in. Everyone's welcome, and everybody gets their own chance.
Yep,
Yeah,
I agree. 100%. I agree.
Yeah, and I can't watch a show where someone's talking bad about someone else. It breaks my heart. I can't do it.
And another thing that I kind of show that I don't like, and maybe it's because the way I was raised, I don't like a lot of profanity. I just don't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Whether, again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not even going to go that route. I just don't. I don't get the reasoning behind it in the shows where it's, F this, F that. Why? Why?
Yeah,
I mean,
I cuss all the time in real life. All the time. All the time. I'm married to a sailor. Even before that, I have always been a cusser.
my
I've
dad
been
was a
saying
sailor.
the
I
F
get you.
word since I was 10, but I don't do it in certain situations. You guys will rarely hear me cuss on my Whatnot shows unless it's like a certain show where like you're supposed to be funny and making jokes and stuff like that, and I will not cuss around older people. I just won't do it. It's
Thank
not
you.
right. I don't like it. Anyone who's older than me, even if they're only 40, like I just don't feel right doing it unless they
Easy
do it
now.
first.
Older
Unless
than me, older than 40.
unless
Even if they're only as old as 40.
even just like I don't know, unless they do it first. If someone else cusses and then I'll be like, okay, it's safe for me to cuss. But unless I hear them do it first, I won't say anything bad. I will be a very good little girl. But if you were to have like a recording of me in my house, I am saying F this, F that all the time. But this is professional. You have to be professional. And I
You
see
got to be.
I can see some people doing that as not very professional.
I've gotten in trouble since I was in like second grade.
This guy, okay, we used to go to he still has the hat on. We used to go to this place. It was called Rescue Church. It's in Portsmouth, Virginia. It's amazing. They're a church that also like they hire people who need help. I'm talking about serious things. They hire people who are homeless. They give food every Thursday to people. Like they're just amazing. And then they also have a thrift store. And you go into the thrift store and if you ever go in and you're like, hey, I need a jacket and I don't have enough money, he's like, go pick out whatever jacket you want. I don't care. Pick it out. So they're really nice people. And it's a church. Let me emphasize that. So one day we go in there and we talk to the pastor. We know him and we know him very well. His name's Perry. And we go in there and we're donating items. And this guy goes, well, what the fuck is this? And that, and like really loud. And I'm like, stop, we're in a church. And Perry just goes, oh, that mouth sure is hot today, huh? And like, he didn't even care, but like, oh my gosh, it was a lot. I was like, no,
I'm such a nice person that even when I was in like second grade, my teachers used to be like, I know you're cussing, because I have a deep voice too, ever since I was super young.
So it like
so everyone knew it was me, but I never got written up for it because they knew I didn't do it like maliciously.
Yeah, you're just emphasizing.
I was never like F you or anything like that. I was just like, oh fuck, wow, this hurts, blah blah blah, F that. And,
hey Gwen.
but I never did it maliciously, and I was a sailor before I was a sailor, so I never got in trouble for it. but it's just naturally. But that's because I also grew up in a family that, like, I'm the youngest
No
of
filter.
6. There was no filter. Everyone had like felonies and stuff. I'm the only one to graduate high school, so like I was just used to it.
Yeah,
my dad was in the
Built-in
military. He
vocabulary.
was in the Navy, and but then he turned into a deacon at the church. So
oh my gosh.
I saw both aspects, right?
No.
I saw
Mhm.
both aspects. So I mean, I honestly, when he found his religion, it was night and day. It was night and day.
Wow.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
it takes a truly skilled person to filter like that. And sometimes I can't. If I get mad, nope. I can't filter. Everything's coming out my mouth. But if I'm in a good mood and I'm like with friends, I don't really do it that often.
But once he got associated with the church, I never, ever heard him say anything out of the way. Never.
Yeah.
Huge flip.
So
I think when I'm near her, I feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
That kind of is still that to me. Like, you know what? You don't have to do that to be a cool person. Again, I'm not knocking it. Okay, whatever floats anybody's boat. I'm not going. But I realized because I was really mouthy, and it absolutely helped me in my career in life because when you don't, it's hard to explain how I feel about that because you don't have to use those words. You can use other words. Again, not knocking it, not trying to preach, step on a soapbox. I'm not saying that, but you don't have to. Now there are situations where it's fun to. That's what I get. I understand that.
Yeah, and I don't mean to like call anybody stupid or anything, but like when I was living in Pennsylvania, it's a very uneducated town. Most people don't finish high school, they don't get a GED, they finish elementary school and they go off to do jobs, which is fine.
Where's this in Pennsylvania?
But so
you're
a lot of these
alienating
people
a whole state. You know that, right?
It's not the whole state. It's a very, very teeny, tiny town. There's like 2,000 people in this town. It's a small town. So a lot of these people are uneducated. They end up being like laborers, which is fine. They're not stupid. They're just not highly educated, and that's fine. But when you're like that, you don't learn other adjectives. You learn to cuss instead, and it's a perfect explanation. Like, wow, this is effing crazy. Like that's just the best way to describe it. So I feel like I'm pretty intelligent. I have a college degree, whatever. But I still do it all the time. So it doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you're emphasizing. I can't help it. It's a habit for sure. It's a habit.
And you talk about education. I don't have a formal college education.
I dropped out. It's fine.
But I've worked hard to get to where I am without one.
Yeah.
I'm in a position with my company that nobody, as far as I know, nobody other than me does not has that degree, has that piece of paper on the wall. But I'm a hard worker, so that's why I got there.
Yeah, like my dad didn't go to college, and he is one of the smartest people I know. So you don't need a degree to call yourself smart. And even some people who do have degrees are still kind of stupid. So it's fine. It's just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. It depends on how good you were at fudging your work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I was pretty good at fudging my work. Yes, very true. Whether it's books or manual labor.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
Yeah, my dad makes more money than I could ever dream of, and he's never been to college, so it's nice.
My oldest son has an associate's degree. I got 3 boys, by the way. My middle son has no college whatsoever. I've got some has no college whatsoever. However, he's in a role maybe because I helped him get the job. But once I help him get the job, he's on his own, right?
Yeah.
I help you get in the front of the door, but after that, you're gonna be where you're gonna be. Well, he's a quality technician for a multi-billion-dollar company right now. He's not making crazy money. Yeah. But he's making good money for a 22-year-old. He just bought himself a house.
I don't even own a house.
So
I did own a house, but I sold that because I hated it.
Yeah, that was.
You don't like owning the house.
It was falling apart.
He bought that house.
Made money off of
he bought that house at the age of 18, fresh out of boot camp, because
Right.
that's what everyone was doing. They were like,
Right,
yeah, guys,
right.
buy a house, rent it out. It'll be a good idea. It was not a good idea, and we sold it, but we did make a profit on it, so that's good. So it's gone, and we don't plan on doing it anymore.
She's not lying.
No, I'm not
Now,
lying.
my oldest son graduated high school at 17. Now here's the story that you hear about all this ADHD, right? He severe ADHD, severe. I mean, squirrel, or I mean, really. But he graduated high school at 17. He graduated from Tri-County Technical School with an associate degree at 19.
Ooh.
He bought his first house at 21. He bought his second house, I'm not sure, he lived in there for like 3 years, bought his second house.
Now, I haven't even gotten my first yet.
And yeah, I mean, he's living in a house better. He's living in a house better than mine. He's in a $250,000 house.
That's awesome. Proud dad, I'm sure.
I am. We got 2 grandbabies. He's got 2 sons. His wife doesn't work. He works at a company called Purina. They make.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
Dog food, cat food, all that kind of stuff.
That's what we feed my cat.
There you go. So yeah, you keeping his house payment up.
Yes, this girl right
my middle
here,
son,
she has the worst ADHD of anyone I've ever met. I love you, dog. I love you, but my goodness, she could go on 60 top. My mom is pretty bad too with ADHD. I used to think I had ADHD, and then I realized it was just a bunch of other medical problems manifesting into that. So, it overlaps. But yeah, I could go on 100 different topics, and yeah, it sucks.
And then there's my youngest son, who just was 20, I think 20. I lose track. He played college soccer his freshman year, and then he decided he's going to take a gap year. Well, I instill work ethics in my boys. Watch me, sons. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch me. Do what I do, and you'll go somewhere. Just for working hard. Hard work will get you somewhere.
Yeah.
It may not get you to the top, but it'll keep you from being at the bottom. That's how I look at it. Awesome, Tracy. That's amazing.
You built your home. That's cool.
So he's 20 years old. He I'm not gonna say dropped out of college, but right now I'm not sure he's going back because he started working with this car wash company. The automated car washes to go through.
Oh yeah.
That kind of stuff. They're big business now. They're really big business. But within a month, they wanted him as a shift supervisor because he's just a hardworking guy and he's got his head on straight. Well, they just offered him a role of assistant manager at the same spot. So here he is, 20 years old, assistant manager's role. They're talking about paying bonuses and everything up to $75,000 a year.
Wow.
At 20. He's like, Dad, why do I need to go back to school? I'm learning a trade. This is a trade that's going to move forward. So, I mean, how do I question that?
Yeah, I mean, I went to school for psychology, and I was planning on doing forensic psychology and cross-cultural psychology, and it was a big dream, and I was good at it. I was good at school. I was good at, I was in all the clubs. I was in the honor societies. And I was planning on being into this degree, and I would have made like $250,000 a year. I would have made tons of money. I would have traveled to different countries and disaster areas and been able to help victims of, flood and fire and all sorts of things. And then something happened in my life, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I have too many stressors going on. And I dropped out like 3 credits away from my bachelor's. And yes, I know I'm going back eventually. It's fine. But right now, it wouldn't make sense to me for me to be doing all of that because I wouldn't have met my husband. I wouldn't have the house I'm in now. I don't own it, but I rent it. I wouldn't have all the stuff that I'm surrounded with.
But you would be there. You would be there.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be happy because I would be surrounded with sadness and death, and I decided that wasn't my thing. I don't think I could handle that.
Right.
And I know a lot of people can, but like, I don't know. I just decided this would be better. And the thing that matters is I'm happy. Even though I'm not making a ton of money, I'm not even making a pound of money, but I'm making enough to survive and still be happy. And that's what matters. You don't need to be rich and educated and everything.
Right.
You don't need it. Just do what matters, guys. If this
what
makes
I'm
you
doing,
happy, do it.
Right. And this makes me happy. This makes me happy. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
It does. And I'm looking at Whatnot and reselling. I'm hopefully Whatnot. I'm really focusing on Whatnot for my retirement years. I really am. I want to do this till I die. I mean, you got to do something, right? You got to do something after you retire. There's gonna come a day when
Oh,
my
you would
company's
be
gonna say,
so bored if you didn't do anything after retirement. I could not
God,
see you
oh God,
relaxing.
I can't imagine. My
No.
dad worked up until the day he went to the hospital, and
Yeah.
he was just and that's where I got my ethic from. I
Yeah.
got that from him. He worked up to the day he went to the hospital. He went to the hospital. When he come home, he never left the house after that. And I got a really amazing story that maybe one day I could tell you about that. It's
I hope.
very. You know what? I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Um,
You're among friends.
I know, right? I know a lot of people don't believe in the supernatural, in God or whatever you want to call it. Okay, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to be specific. Okay, I'm not going to say this or that, but I'm going to say there are, in my opinion, there are supernatural. There's spirit world. I believe that. Okay, I'm not one of these creepy guys. Okay, don't get me wrong, but there's something. There's a higher power. I believe. I'm not 100% sure what it is. Now, granted, I grew up in the church, so I know what I was told, okay? But I'm not sure in myself exactly what it is, okay? I'll
Right.
pray. I have no problem praying for somebody. If you're sick, I'll pray for you in my stream. I don't care. You know,
Right.
I'll pray how I was told and all that kind of fun stuff. So, again, I'm not going to try to say one religion versus another religion or no religion versus religion. I'm not any of that, okay? Because if you're a non-religious and believe in no religion, then that's fine because you're believing in something. I don't know what it is, but you're believing in something that's going to empower you to be a better person. So whatever it is, again, I'm on a soapbox. Sorry about that. So, but my father, I remember the weekend he passed away. This was 29 years ago. My oldest son, hang on to your horse and buckle up for this where to go. My oldest son was 6 weeks old. He was 6 weeks old. I was working as an operations supervisor at a machine shop. I just been promoted from assembly manager or something like that to the operations manager. So I was in the office. They needed somebody to work on a Saturday. And I said they wanted somebody has to open up the shop. So that was me. They called me, will you open the shop? These guys come in to work. We got some work need to be done. I said, okay. So I'm in the shop, and for some reason, out of the blue, I said, you know what? My dad had been sick, okay? My dad had been sick, and my mom, to kind of give you a backfill, was not the kind of person that would disclose a lot. They were living in Virginia. I was in South Carolina. So there wasn't a lot of information. Again, this was 30 years ago. Cell phones weren't a thing, right?
Yeah.
Nobody picked up a cell phone unless you were the millionaire and having big old bricks to talk on. Nobody had one.
Yeah.
So it was about noon or so. I said, you know what? I'm going to pick up the phone and call Dad. Just see how he's doing. I knew he hadn't been feeling well. I knew he come home from the hospital. And I'd been to see the hospital before. And they talked about cancer and that kind of stuff. But it didn't tell me any information about, how long he had or anything like that. So I picked up the phone and I said, hey, and Dad answered. Like the third ring, Dad answered. I said, hey, Dad, how you doing? And he said this question to me. Are you not coming to see me? I'm like, do what? Now I'm 8 hours away, right? This is back when the speed limit was 55, so I'm probably 9 hours away. I said, what do you mean, Dad? He goes, aren't you on your way to come see me? Dad, do I need to come see you? I thought you was leaving already. Dad, if you need me to come, I'm coming. He goes, I think it'd be a good idea. All right.
Oh.
All right. So I called my wife at the time. She just had a baby, 6 weeks old with a C-section. So, I mean, she was in rough shape to begin with.
Yeah.
So I picked up the phone. Tammy, we need to go to Virginia. She says, I said, I need to see my dad. She goes, okay. So we loaded up the car with playpens, strollers. First road trip with a new baby. We didn't know what to do with. We had more crap for the baby in the car than we knew what to do with, right? So we heading down 85 or up 85 to Virginia, going through 58, 95, 64, Virginia Beach Boulevard. There we are. So I got there again. Cell phones weren't a thing. I talked to Dad. He knew I was coming, right? Okay, that's the last communication that we had. Well, we arrived probably midnight because by the time I left work, got the car packed, it was late. I mean, I'm hauling butt getting there. It's midnight at least. I pulled up, I knocked on the door, Mom peeks and goes, "Ken, what are you here for?" Remember, this is 30 years ago. I was a young guy. Back then. I said, Dad, talked to Dad earlier. She goes, "Come in." I walked in the room. As soon as I walk in the door, pictures to the immediate left was like a hospital bed where Dad was at. The telephone was in the opposite corner, and it wasn't the remote. It was the wired phone that had 6-8 feet, right? It wasn't the one that stretches all over the place. It was just the table phone that sits there. You have on the cord and you talk on it. I said, I talked to Dad about lunchtime today. She goes, "Your dad has spoken in 3 days." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What?" She goes, He's been in that bed right there since he came home from the hospital, but he hasn't spoken in 3 days. He was just like he is right there, kind of comatose, right? Mm-hmm. But I spoke to him, and to this day, I spoke to him. He passed away the next morning.
Wow.
So there are. I believe it. I'm sorry. This wasn't meant to be that.
That was beautiful.
But,
that was beautiful.
How long
ago was that?
Huh?
How long ago was that?
29 years.
And it still touches you
49 years old. He was 6 weeks old. So that's how I remember how long ago it was. So,
that's beautiful. So I'm a little nervous to say this after that story, but and I'm nervous to say this because you never know how people will react to this kind of statement because it's not political or anything, but I'm an atheist. I've always been atheist, and I mean like diehard atheist. But but I have prayed with friends. I have had people pray over me, and I felt the love from them. Like if somebody comes up to me, like I remember I used to work at a tax place, and I was having a really hard time. There was a person there who was threatening violence upon people, and I was the manager, so I was the one that was in charge of protecting everyone, pretty much. One of my other people, she was very, very religious. And she came up to me and she said, "Kylie, can I please pray over you?" And she knew I was atheist, but I knew that it wasn't in like a malicious, like, let me show you, prove you wrong kind of way. It was like, hey, I love you and I want you to feel better. So I let her pray for me. And she said, I pray that she has the strength she needs and that she gets the, knowledge that she needs and everything. And I genuinely did feel better after that, even though I don't believe
you felt her love.
Yes, I felt the love. I don't believe that there was anyone there that she was talking to, but she did. And for that to be like that, it was love. So she wasn't trying to convert me or anything. It was honest love and care, and I'm fine with that. And my grandma, it broke her heart that I never like went to church with her or any of that stuff, but I would have for sure. But she didn't think to ask because she knows I don't believe in it, so she didn't want me to parade around pretending. But I think I very much respect religion, all religion, whether it's with or without religion.
And I have no disrespect.
Exactly.
For you.
Exactly.
At all.
And it's fine because as long as we're not impeding upon each other, it's the human spirit. Because I don't believe in like God, but I do believe in like a kind of like a force that people have.
That's kind of like I was saying. There's a higher power of sorts, but it may be us. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
There is, and there's something I've always been a big believer in science. Yes,
agreed, Gwen. Agreed. I needed to hear him.
So I've always believed in, like, there's been a few studies that come out about, how we have 5 senses. Well, they believe that we have actually 7 or 8 senses that we never identified. So, like, one of those senses is being able to sense people in the room. So, like, if you're facing a wall and someone's standing behind you, but you can't see them and they're there, that's a sense that we haven't named yet. So I think that after people are around you, they have an energy. So that's why I try to surround myself with people with good energy. And
Right.
the people, like you walk into a room and there's a Karen or a Chad, and they just have this bad energy and you don't want to be anywhere near them and they haven't said
Chad
a
just
word
got
yet.
called out. Chad
Yeah.
just got called out.
And sorry, Chadwick, sorry. But they don't have an energy that you want to be around, even though they haven't said a word. They just have
Agreed.
that energy and that ability to give that off. So I believe in that sense. It's juju, I guess, whatever you want to call
Vibe.
it. So yeah,
Vibe.
it's a vibe,
There you go.
vibe tribe. So yeah, I believe in that, and it's not necessarily a higher power, but if you have a higher power, that's awesome. I've always said, like, I wish I believed in that because it might make life a little easier for me. It
Or
might,
not. Or not.
but I just can't. I've
Or not.
tried.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't hate anybody that does, unless you guys are trying to be like, hey, well, you should convert. And I'm like, no, leave me alone. I'm not trying to convert you. Like, I don't want to sit here and have an argument about why there
Yeah.
is or is not a
Why?
God, or like,
Why? I mean,
who
I've
cares?
had, I've had. Don't get me wrong. I've had atheists come to me and say, "Well, you're, quote unquote, stupid for believing this, right?"
That's
And I
horrible.
tell them, at the end of the day, if I believe in something that isn't true, what is it hurting you, and what is it hurting me?
Exactly. Exactly.
Nothing.
That's how I
So
feel
there's
too.
no
And
point in going
I
that route.
also think like the way that a lot of people talk about their God is that like God is a loving God. For the most part, that's like the Christian God, is that there's like a loving God. So if there really is a loving God, my argument with Christians who like specifically come at me and they're like, "Well, why don't you believe in God? How could you not do that? You won't go to heaven." And I say to them, I'll say like, "Well, if there is a God, he would know why I don't believe in him and he would understand why I didn't, but I still carry myself in a way that he would love and accept." So like I don't have 10 commandments, but I agree with them. Don't kill, don't steal, don't,
Sure,
honor your
moral.
parents.
They're
I still
moral. They're
follow them.
moral compasses.
Yes, they're morals. I still have morals. I'm not like a freaking crazy person who just runs around in chaos and, smash people's windows in. I would never do that. But I'm not doing it in the name of a god. And I think that bothers some people that I'm not doing it for something else. I'm
I
just
know.
doing it for myself.
All kinds of deep thoughts going on.
Yes, there's a really deep conversation we're having
Oh
here.
my
So yeah,
gosh.
yeah, I appreciate that's why I like you, Gumby, because you can have such strong beliefs in something and still respect someone else's
Yeah.
beliefs. And then
Why?
same with
Why not?
me. Why not?
Right.
Who cares? I don't care if you do or
Right.
don't believe in
Right.
God. Just like I don't care if you do or don't like the show Game of Thrones. Like who cares? It's
I've
not
never
your
seen it.
thing.
I've never
Me
seen it.
neither. Me neither. I think I
I've
watched one
never seen
episode.
E.T. I've never watched the movie E.T. all the way through. I
That
know,
hurts
right?
my
I figured.
feelings. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Am I
E.T.
banned? Am I
going
banned
home.
now? Am I banned
You
now?
are a little bit. That hurt my feelings worse than you believing in God. It
Oh my
does. It
gosh.
does. Yes, I
Oh
feel
my
weird
gosh. But
about that.
I just when it comes to taking care of people, I just believe you need to do the right thing to people. That's what it comes down to.
You
At the end of the day,
do. You
people take
do.
care of people. No,
Tracy's losing her
Tracy,
mind.
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never watched it all the way through. Now, however, the movie Elf, I've watched every year since it's come out.
I've watched it at least 100 times, I
Oh my
swear.
god!
So
It is
many
a,
times.
what's the word I'm saying? A family tradition in our house
Yep.
that everybody, even all the boys come back to the house. All the boys come back to the house. We have one night and we watch Elf. That's a fact. We do it.
I forgot where my
I'll never
tattoo was.
forget it.
Hold on. Look at it. Look at it. It's the elf hat.
It is. It is the Elf hat. I don't know if
That
my
was one of my
picture's
first ever
transferred.
tattoos. I love that guy.
Let's see
And I know a lot
here.
of people don't like Will Ferrell, but just ignore the fact that it's Will Ferrell and enjoy the movie. It's amazing. It's so
I
funny.
do want to show y'all. We just got our family pictures. That's
Oh,
that's the crowd.
Beautiful.
That's my oldest son there. That's hang on. Don't want to get all my secrets away. And my oldest son Austin over here on this side here. His wife Katie. That's Maverick. The little guy on his shoulders, Maverick. Atlas is the little guy she's holding.
I love that name.
Oh, somebody's went live. All these notifications. Come on, go away. Beside me, to my left, is Kason. He's my youngest. That's my wife Tammy. To her right is my son Jackson and his fiancee Emma. So that's my crowd.
That looks like a magazine picture. It looks like a Sears photo ad.
It was cold that morning. They got me out there. I'm allergic to the cold, right? I hate the cold.
I'm the opposite.
Oh my gosh, the wind was blowing. Maverick was, he's a 2-year-old. Maverick was running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
Oh.
It was just too much. It was fun. It was fun, but it was a cold.
I am the opposite. I thrive in the cold. When I walk outside for the first time in the year that it's cold outside, I literally get so much energy. I redo the house. I do bake everything. I cook dinner, breakfast, lunch. I do all of it. I love the cold. It's crazy.
You know what the first thing I do every morning when it's cold? Hey Siri, how many days until spring?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
I walk into the plant. They go, hey, Mr. Holiday. Oh, no, anyhow. And I go, yep, 74 days until spring.
Oh, my God.
73 days until spring. They know me.
Dude, I'm the opposite. I'm counting down the days till Christmas.
No. I'm not big into Christmas anymore. I used to be. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a bah humbug kind of guy.
Have you seen this one?
No, I have not. Was it gingerbread?
It's a gingerbread man. I have so many tattoos that are like Christmas related because I love Christmas. And it's funny because I'm an atheist. So it's like, what the heck? So like, I know there's a lot of people out there would be like, how dare you celebrate the birth of Jesus? And I'm like, why not? It's fun. It's happy.
Right.
Christmas is I don't know, it's just a time when people are more generous. People, not just to me, but like to each other in general. They're willing to cook meals for each other and they bake and they do things they didn't think they would be able to because they have time off work. And it's just like so much fun and people love each other. And then right after the New Year starts, everyone's like, okay, I'm a new person now. I'm a good person. And then February hits.
February, everybody hates everybody.
Everybody hates each other. I hate being single. I hate my husband. I hate my wife. And it sucks. So I love Christmas. Christmas is when people are nice.
Yeah. And I think Lisa asked me a question. Was my last name pronounced holiday? It is. It's spelled very funny, but it is pronounced holiday. So, and I'm born 4 days after Christmas, so I'm the Christmas holiday.
Every day is a holiday in your house.
Every day's a holiday with me. Yeah, the grandkids. Yeah, yes, they do. True. You're still kind of young. I got Maverick. The toys nowadays. Oh my gosh.
Get them vintage. Get them vintage.
I need to, but I need to. I guess the Fisher Price stuff I need to get them. I got some old stuff in the attic that used to belong to my boys. That's why I'm gonna get them. Bring them down one day when they get a bit older.
Oh, Lisa,
how is yours spelled, Lisa? How is yours spelled? On holiday.
Tell us your last name and social security number.
I know, right? Yeah, and your date of birth.
Holiday.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you how mine's spelled. I don't care because I mean, if you want to find me, you can find me. I'm not gonna give you any other information. But my name is an English pronunciation with a Spanish spelling. So think of this. Yeah, Hola, which in Spanish is hola. Hola, which means what? Hello. Hello, right? Dia, D-I-A, in Spanish, dia means day.
Mm-hmm.
So, hello, day. And over the years, turned into holiday. Somehow, I don't know how, but it has always been holiday ever since my dad's dad. So
I always said Haladia.
Yeah, Haladia, Ola Dia, Haladia.
Yeah.
Siri, when I did Doc Holiday, my dad's nickname was Doc. Like when I Siri or hey Siri, call Kason, I go Haladia. I have to say that because I can't say holiday because it won't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
It doesn't know. No. No. Imagine what happens when I ask Google to call my husband, whose name is Wakushka. It's
I
like,
know,
what?
right?
What is that?
What is
It's
that?
not a real name.
I'm sorry, I can't give you that information while you're driving.
I'm sorry. We can't answer that question right now. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, so guys, this has been fun. This is really fun. I've enjoyed this. I hope everybody out there is having a good time, just talking and chatting and carrying on. I hope you're getting to know us, and that's the goal. That's the goal of what I call Gumby's Vibe Tribe, is to get everybody to know me as well as Kylie today and whoever I'll be hosting in the future. And when we bring Kylie back for another episode, well, you're shooting for the star. That's right. Uh, again, we're not done yet, but we're just
No.
we're
Don't
not
go
done.
anywhere.
And don't go nowhere. We're just talking, letting you know that this is what we wanted to happen, and it did. And I think at one point in time, I saw we had like 22, 23 people in the room, which is, in my opinion, for the first time doing a chat show.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it was like
I didn't even
23.
see that.
Top. Now we're down to 14 now, but I saw 23 at one point.
But that's great. Even when we
Yeah.
only had 9, there's 9
Yeah,
people in the
yeah.
world that want to listen to us talk. Holy
I know,
crap!
right?
That's cool.
Right. So I mean, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing for both of us.
Yeah.
And I think I like it. I like it so far. Again, I plan on doing at least once a month until if it gets like crazy, we'll do more. Yeah. Open the floor for Q&A. Absolutely. All right,
Yeah.
Deb. You
Ask
started
away.
it. What's your question? What's your question, Deb?
Yes, yeah. What Red Rooster's talking about is she learned that whatever the last names are in North America, a lot of the times that was just what the immigration officer wrote down whenever they were getting off the boat. So someone could say good morning and they're like, okay, your name is good morning. It's just, it's weird. It's
Well,
very weird.
rumor has it, we haven't tracked it all the way back. Rumor has it was a Spaniard. Of course, I don't look any like I got any Latino in me or Hispanic or whatever you want to call it, whatever it is. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but that's what I'm saying. Rumor has it, a Hispanic gentleman who was one of my ancestors came over on a boat to Holland, married a girl in Holland, and somehow that's where the Spanish and the English somehow came into play with the Spanish spelling with the English pronunciation. But again, it's rumor. We have no proof of that. But you know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah, you just hear
What
stories.
are your least favorite poisonous birds? Oh my gosh. Leave it to Joe Siskimo to come up with that.
One time a friend of mine opened up the Q&A to their show and I said, when was the first time you ate a chicken nugget? And it caught him way off guard. He was like,
there's a good question. How do you balance a full-time job with reselling no matter the platform? Now, Kylie's out on this one. Because
I used to work full-time, so I guess I could say what I used to do until I quit. So I used to work at H&R Block, and I was a tax professional, and I was only there during January through April. But when I say it was full-time, I mean it was full-time. People always needed their stuff done, and we were doing stuff for businesses too.
Right.
So we were doing like small businesses and medium businesses, like funeral homes and things like that. And I would go to work and do this. And I didn't do this like this. Like I wasn't doing reselling like this. I was doing only eBay. So on eBay, what I would do is I would have my brother who helped me also. So like Afternoon Antiqueco is not just me. There's no way this is all me. Gumby Man is all the Gumby Man. I cannot do it by myself. I would literally collapse. Like I have a health issue that I would collapse. So I need people to be in my circle. So when I worked at the H&R Block, what I would do is I would do my work and I'd get off around like 5 or 6 p.m. and I'd come home and I'm so tired because I've literally been crunching numbers all day and looking and like sorting people's receipts. Like you guys hate doing your own receipts. Imagine doing someone else's whose handwriting you can't read. It was horrible, but I loved it. So I would do that all day long, and then I'd get home, I'd have to eat food, I'd have to shower, then I'd have to go to bed. So I didn't have any time to do do the reselling. So only on the weekends. I specifically told my job I will not work weekends. And it's not because I want to go out and party on the weekends. It's because I have to do my business. So I
Right.
would, on the weekends, I would do like 60 to 75 eBay listings every day on Saturday and Sunday. So I would have 150 listings by the end of the weekend, and then I'd go right back into taxes. And it was hard. So after the tax season was over, I was like, I'm not getting another job. I'm going to do this all the time, and I'm going to put my full heart and soul into this so that I can withstand it. And obviously, I can't do this. This isn't going to sustain us. We have, yeah. um, my husband was a sailor at the time, so he was making the bulk of the income. So I can't support the whole family on this. There's no way in heck I can do that unless I put more time into it. But I don't have enough energy for that. So I just do like 6-ish hours a day of doing the work. And like we talked about earlier, it's not really 6 hours. That might be 6 hours that you're moving and physically doing it, but you're still thinking about it in your head. You're still planning.
24.
You're still
You're dreaming about
24
it.
hours. Yes, you're dreaming about it. So that it's so much energy, and I don't know how you do it, honestly, how you do both always, because I could barely do it for 4 months out of the year. It was hard.
What my situation is now, I've always kind of dealt with reselling, even when I was a kid. You talked about your grandparents going digging at the dump and all that kind of stuff. As a kid, we lived in Virginia Beach, and they had, the trash day, right? So the night before, everyone put the trash out. I was a trash picker. I'm proud of it. As a kid, I had a bicycle that I built a trailer behind to go picking.
Yeah, we
So
called
I
that the
would
free
go,
care store.
but
Free
what
stuff
I
store.
picked was bicycle parts.
Oh,
I picked
nice.
bicycle parts, rims, tires, frames, chains, whatever I saw bicycle parts, I would pick them up. And I would take those parts. I go home, and all week, as a kid, you go to school, and evenings I come home. I was too young to play sports, that kind of thing. So I would put bicycles together out of parts, and I would sell them to kids that didn't have bicycles. So no, that's where I got the part of, you want, like you said, you want to make it available. So I was making money for me. I was having fun as a hobby making bicycles out of parts. I mean, some of the bicycles I made were like crazy looking. I would have them, the choppers with, the forks and spokes, all that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I would do that. And I would sell them back then for $10, which was good money back then, back in the 70s, 60s and 70s. Anyhow, that was really good money. But that's how I got started doing that. Now, bring it up full speed. I just did a little bit of that over the years. I got away from it for a long, long time. However, 12 years ago, I was involved in a pretty serious accident that put me out of work for almost 2 years. Yeah, it was. And I don't wish this on anybody. Guys, again, I think this is why I am so passionate about helping people.
Because you've been there.
It brought me to ruins. I mean, literally. I mean, when your whole life just is cut off, and you're in the house, you can't do anything. You can't do anything to help yourself. Your job is not there. I mean, it's everything. When that happens to you, you're on the bottom and you're looking up, looking for help. So when I got to a point where I could start actually functioning, I started by buying, and I can't remember what I bought. I keep racking my brain, but I bought something. I remember I bought something for $5. And I took it and I cleaned it up. And yeah, thank you, Lisa. And I put it on, I think it was eBay. I put it on eBay. And I sold that $5 item for $20.
Nice.
I put it on, I had $5 in, I think I put it at $8 just to see, and it bid up to 20. I'm like, what the heck? I just made $15. So everything in this building, it wasn't the radio, but everything, I can't remember what it was. Everything in this building that I own right here started with that $5 purchase. So all these genie bottles you see behind me originated with that $5 purchase. Now, during that time, I also had to eat. You know, so I started out by just using the stuff in the garage, put it in the garage. Then I built me a shop out back, put stuff out back. I kind of outgrew that. Then I rented this building. I've been in this building now for 8 years. So, but it's because it's what I wanted to do. Right, Tracy. It does change people. It does change people. When you go through stuff, it changes people.
Yeah. And I
It
have to
does.
say, if you don't have already, like, I also have always been entrepreneurial. Like, I've always been a self-starter, independent, and like inspired to do my own thing. So when the opportunity came, I took it. And a lot
Yeah.
of people will take that opportunity, but they won't fly with it because it's not who they are. So if you don't have an entrepreneurial spirit, like if you haven't been doing this since you were a kid, and I don't mean like reselling since you were a kid, but like when you're a kid, you make your own lemonade stand and like things like that. Like if you haven't been
Right.
doing that since you were a kid, you're not going to be passionate about this and you're
No.
not going to be
No.
successful because that will come off in your work. If you're not passionate about what you're selling, they'll know. People will know. And I personally won't buy off of people who are just like, hey, look at this. All right, $2. Hey, look at this. Like, who cares? Nobody cares
Right.
about that.
Right.
And you don't care. You just want the money, which I get it. We all need to make money, but this is not something for the faint of heart, honestly. Yes, you
Exactly.
have to be self-driven to be successful in this kind of thing. And I think that's why you're successful at doing both Whatnot and your work,
Well, I
because you
had to.
passionate
I
about
had
both.
to. Right.
And you had to. That's very true.
And once they got it rolling, here, the funny part is once they got it rolling, this was my full-time job for about a year. Once I got past healthy, the job wasn't taking me back, that situation, because they done moved on. I get that. And I don't hold nothing against them on that. They weren't taking me back. So I was doing this. I wasn't in this building, but I was doing this. And because I had to. I had to. And like you know, to make $1 do this is a 24/7. A 24/7. So another true story, and this is I'm in here, I'm finally at this building here, and I done grown big enough to where I can afford to pay rent on a building and pay my expenses. Now, granted, I still had debt. Oh my gosh, like crazy. However, then my son was working in a temp agency. He was responsible for bringing in temps to this particular company. He called me one day. He said, "Dad, what are you doing for the next 2 weeks?" What do you mean? What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm here. I'm doing flipping stuff. I need somebody to come work at the shop for 2 weeks. I got a position they got to fill, and I can't get no one to fill it. And he was responsible for bringing the temps in. I said, "How much does it pay? How long do I got to do it? All that kind of fun stuff." He goes, "It pays $10 an hour. I need you for 2 weeks." All right, I'll do it for you. It's your kid, right? It's your kid. I don't want to
Yeah.
go do that, but I'm gonna help him out so he don't maybe lose his job for not being able to fill his position or whatever. I'm not saying he would, but anyhow.
Right.
So I went to work for that company. Went and filled out their paperwork. They hired me on the spot. They started me the next day. It was working a production line making pressure washers. The
Ooh.
old guy comes in. They say, let's put him in the end of the line. We'll have him just load them up, put them in the boxes. I had to take full pressure washers, stick him in the box. That was my job at that time, 54 years old. And anyhow, long story short, I worked in that line. I've been involved with production all my life, so I knew the ins and outs of production. Wow, thank you, Justice Camo. You're the man, my brother. So I took that job, and next thing I know, the lady coming to me, the line leader, said, "Hey, you seem to have an idea of what's going on just by talking to you. I want to move you to the very front of the line. I want you taking the engines and putting them on this thing. Do you think you could do that?" I'm like, yeah, you know. So I'm in the front. I'm the very first section. I'm working and working and working. Next thing I know, the second area is bogged down because I'm loading them up. They're like behind because I'm
Yeah.
got some. So I took it upon myself to go to the second section, learn what they were doing,
Mm-hmm.
and then yes, that's very true. Yeah, you're right. So I got that going. Now, by the end of the day, I've been in every single section, learned every single job, including putting them into boxes. And that day, they sold or produced more on that line than any other line had done in the last 2 months. Just by me going up and down. And the line leader
Yeah.
never did like this. Why was she doing that? That's my question. So with that being, yeah, I know, right? I'm just sharing all kinds of stuff. But I want you to get to know me. I want you. That's what this is about. So
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's why people like us, I mean, with your current job, you're doing a great job, like in real life. But like people like us, not only are we self-starters, but we're the type of person that will help everybody else before we're done, or
right,
we'll finish and we'll help everyone else. And what sucks is that in this kind of like world, that gets taken advantage of. So we will work and work and work and work and work so hard for a corporation that won't even bat an eye. They'll give us a pizza party. Thanks for your help. Here's a pizza, even though I literally just like made
I've
a
seen
world
those
record for
TikToks.
you. Yes, like I just made you a record and I get pizza. Like what the heck? But with this kind of business, your reward is money and your reward is community and like passion about your stuff. But like I would honestly work any job. Give me any job. Fast food. I've never worked in fast food, but I would love to work in production or fast food or anything just to learn the ins and outs of it
Right,
so that
right.
one day I can help someone else do that. You know, in the apocalypse or something, I'll know how to do all these things. So like, I don't know, I just feel like we are the type of people that need to own our own business. Like we have to
Agreed.
because we won't succeed. The world won't be a better place unless we're running it. Not like all of
Exactly.
it, but we're that kind of control type thing, but still letting other people flourish with us, you
But
know?
the cool thing about this story is it continues. It
Oh,
continues. So,
hydrate.
oh yeah. I don't have any. I got water over there. Yeah, I do. The cool thing about this story is it continues. I did that for 3 days, and next thing I know, I go to lunch, and on my lunch break, I got a call, and it was some higher up with this company. For nothing like me, I don't know who it was. They say, "Hey, we've been watching you because you know that big. They got that window up there, right? They got the
Yeah,
window. We've been watching you. We asked who you were. We got your number from HR. Blah blah blah. You know, I'm a temp. I'm a temp
yeah.
worker for $10 an hour. We have a project for you. I mean, you do. We want you to lead another group of temps in a project that's going to last about 6 months. I'm thinking, crap. I'm doing this for 2 weeks. I'm flipping stuff. That's what I do, right? But now I was doing it for 2 weeks for my kid. They go, okay, how much does it pay? Well, it doubles your salary. Oh, $20 an hour. You know, I can still do this on the weekend, nights and weekends. You know, I'm thinking, okay, that's guaranteed money coming in for 6 months. That might be a little boost I need to help me do this. All right. So I'm with that company. I'm doing that for 6 months. The project ends. The quality manager who I'm associated with comes to me, Ken, I want to keep you on. I want to keep you on. I can't bring you on full time because I don't have a position, but I want to keep you on as a temp at your same pay and keep you on as a temp until something comes up. Okay. Well, 2 weeks later, a quality technician at that company got ready for a mandatory drug test. He just said, I'm not going to do it, and left. All right. So obviously, you know what the story was, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, guess what? That position came available for a quality technician. So, yeah, obviously he was doing drugs, most likely. He didn't admit it, so he ended up getting tested. However, with that job came a cut in pay. However, it had company benefits, vacation, all that kind of fun stuff. So we're going from 20 down to about 15, almost 16. I'm like, benefits, vacation. Now I talk to my wife, and I'm like, okay. The boss says, there's something big coming down the line. There's something big coming down the line that I have you in mind for. All right, long story short, I know this is dragging out. Long story short, I took the job. I was there about 6 months, and this facility in Gaffney came available, and they brought me in as a supervisor over the quality department. Since then, I was promoted to associate quality manager of the quality department. Then I was promoted to manager of the quality department and giving another facility, which I'm over 2 facilities now. And now my boss is retiring, and it looks like I'll be taking his job over 3 different facilities with a pretty good bump in pay. So all that comes from, guys, was from me telling my son, yeah, I'll help you out. I'll help you out and work. So I did something good for him. In return, I'm where I am at now. But I've kept this going the whole time because I was at a job that an accident took everything away. I don't want that to happen again. I want a backup. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. Because, guys, like, I just celebrated my 59th birthday.
I cannot believe that still.
I can retire in 3 years. Of course, I can't get, was it Medicare? Whatever, what is it, Medicaid? Whatever it is that you get insurance-wise until 65. So I still got 6 years. Yeah, so I still got 6 freaking years. But this is going to be here in 6 years.
Yes.
However,
it might be bigger.
There's another little twist in the story. I'm telling you guys a lot of crap. I'm sorry. Another little twist in the story.
You got more people in the room than when you started. You keep going. I love it.
The landlord is a machine shop beside me. Machine shop. They own this building. I've been here for 8 years. We've had a handshake lease. I pay him every month. He still has the power in his name. I pay his power bill, water bill, all that kind of stuff. But we've been here for 8 years. There's a for sale sign out in front of his building now. If that building sells, this building sells. If this building sells, I have nowhere to go. So, Ishi, you a quality guy? I didn't know that. So keep me in your thoughts on that. So that's going to be interesting. The funny thing is, he's closing out. He's selling all his machinery out of it. He's emptying his building.
Wow.
So
another one will come up, and it'll be even better. That's the cool thing about life and opportunity is that if you're a good person, I believe things will fall into place for you. I feel like they will. No matter how crappy life gets, it is eventually going to even out, and the universe will fall back into place.
No, me and myself.
Yes, you can do what Hodge
you know how much
did.
They want? You know how much they want for that building and this building and the land? $600,000. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
No way.
$600,000. Oh my gosh.
No way.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. But yeah, but that's a little bit into my life. Living into my life. Some of the things that I stress about is, will I get a call tomorrow saying the building's sold? That's right now is my biggest fear. We're a month-to-month lease. I know I'm in here to the end of January. As soon as I pay that February's rent, yes, I'm in here until February.
Yeah. Yeah, but if it happens, you'll figure it out because you are a resilient guy. You'll figure it out no matter what. And you have the community behind you. Even though we're not physically there to help you, which would be a lot more help than us just saying, good job, Gumby. But we're still here to support you no matter where you are. Yeah, you go. Like, no matter where you are, we will follow. We're always here for you. And I know that the chat probably feels the same way. Yes, road trip.
Road trip. Oh man, I've been eyeing so many storefronts, but the problem is if you have a storefront, you have to be open. You have to be open.
And you would have to.
I'm a legal business. I have my tax license, all that kind of fun stuff. I can be open. However, I choose not to be because if I'm open, I have to be here. If I have to be here, I can't be finding stuff to be in here.
And you could always hire someone. But when it comes to like me, like I, just like you said, like kind of a control freak. I don't trust anyone to run my business the way I would run it. Like even my husband, I love him to death. He's a freaking genius. He knows my inventory, but he won't do it the way I want it done. Not that he'll do it badly. It's just he won't do it my way, and my way or the highway.
I want it my way.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna give someone, like $20 an hour to run my business, like $150 a day to do what I could do myself when I could do it perfectly. Yep. And obviously it's not perfect to everyone, but it's perfect to you.
Perfect to you.
So, yeah.
I get that. Yep.
I couldn't do a
that's
brick and
why
mortar.
people say, why don't you hire someone on the weekends to come in and hit your shop? I don't trust them.
I
I
don't
don't trust
trust a
them.
soul.
No.
And I
I mean,
love my
guys,
husband. I
don't take
trust him
that
with
wrong. I
every
don't take
other
that wrong
aspect.
because I'm such a control freak. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I trust my husband with every other aspect of my life. I trust him with my life. Like, I would literally give him, like, my heart and, like, you can hold it and make sure it works. Like, I would
Oh,
trust
not
him with
me. I
that, but
wouldn't do
I
that for
wouldn't
nobody.
not with my business, though. Like, I would trust him to do surgery on me, but when it comes to this is my baby. I don't have kids, so this is my baby. You don't touch it.
Yeah, that's I get it. I get it. And people say, I talk to people that come in and look at, you could do this, or you could do that, or you could do this. Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
And my goal was to take this building and to really make it a storefront. However, now there's for sale signs up there, I'm not
Too
gonna I'm
late.
not gonna invest any time or money into it.
Plus,
You know?
my big thing with the brick and mortar, my brother was talking about this the other day, and my husband really wanted us to open a brick and mortar store, but we'd have to find the right place that's cheap enough rent and utilities. We'd have to have security. We would have to have, not like during the day, but we would have to have security. We'd have to make sure, we'd have to worry about theft, and theft is the big
Liability
deal.
insurance.
Yes,
Liability
and
insurance. People coming
liability
to your
and, like,
shop.
all sorts of stuff, and I can't take it, and I can't manage a group of people. Like, I have done it for other businesses, but that's not my business. That's someone else who has written down the rules. So,
Right,
like, I
right,
can't manage my own people. That would drive me crazy. I
right,
would go
right.
nuts.
Because we as resellers, we change the rules as we go each day.
Yes, exactly. There's
Yep, we do.
nothing written down. Like, if someone said, "Hey, write down your rules," I can't. I don't.
Yeah.
I make them up.
Go
They're my
picking when you can,
Yes.
sell when you can, sleep in between. That's
Yeah.
it.
Because, like, my brother's my business partner, and we do consult each other on things, but, like, sometimes he'll be like, "Hey, do you wanna have a business meeting?" And I'm like, "About what?" And he's like, "Well, we need to talk about this, 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 and this." And I'm like, "We do?
Right,
Why?"
right.
And he's like, "Because I don't know any of it." And I'm like, "But it's in my head, so, like like, what?" And he's like, "You need to share it with me, I'm your partner." So it's hard to,
I
like,
think the
do that
perfect
because it's my
situation
thing.
for me would be what they call in the business world a silent partner.
Yes, that's what I want.
I just want your money. I just want your money. I don't you stay out of it. I'll give you a good return. I just want your money. You know?
Yeah. Yes, that's also a problem is that, like, when you're not in it, you're not like, this is not worth this might be listed on eBay for $25.
Right,
It's
right.
not gonna sell for $25 for
Don't have a
2,
cow,
3
man.
years.
I like that name.
For 3 years no, that's cute. But, like, it's not gonna sell that quickly, and as a business owner, you need to think, "I put X amount of money into it, I put X amount of time into it, and this is how fast it needs to sell for it to be worth it to me." So, like, he wants to, like, be like, "Oh, well, why didn't you sell this glass piece for $100?" I'm like, "'Cause it's worth 30." And he's like, "But we should have gotten more for it." And I'm like, "Okay, well, if you wanna let it sit there for 3 years, you can go ahead and do your own thing, but I'm
Right.
gonna sell it quick, and I'm gonna sell
Yep.
it cheaper." So it's weird.
Flipping. Cash flow. Cash flow. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, you need the cash flow to be coming in. And, like, one of the things is, if you've had an item for too long, like, for example, we have a few items that we've had for a year and a half that still haven't sold, and we've discounted them to the bare minimum to where we are making 50 cents profit after all of our fees and stuff,
Then it's
and we
not
just
worth the
can't get
shipping.
rid of it.
Not worth the shipping.
And yeah, and so he's like, "Let's just donate it." And I'm like, "No, because I would rather sell it for $5 on Whatnot, even though it's been sitting for 20 on eBay. I'd rather sell it for $5 on Whatnot and at least make something. Sell
Yeah,
it
if you
for my
can, right. If
my
you can,
purchase
right.
price. Yeah,
However,
because other than donate it.
however,
Unless it's
it can
really
also
cheap,
be
then
donated and written off
true,
for
true.
the cost. So however either way
Some
you're looking
things.
at it.
Yeah, some things we do donate because it's not even worth having it listed. It's literally not. I don't want this in my store. It doesn't bring me happiness. It doesn't bring me joy. I don't want it. So we'll
Right,
donate. But, like, if it's something that I bought with the intention of selling for X amount and it hasn't brought me that, then I'll discount it halfway. And if it
right,
still
right,
doesn't sell, I'll do another half. And if it still doesn't sell, then I've got to do it cheap as possible. And it breaks my heart, but you just have to do that sometimes. And I think some people don't get that. So it's hard to be, partners with people.
right, Right. My biggest thing that I deal with is I'll find something, and lately I haven't been buying anything that needs worked on. But I've got a gorgeous, gorgeous lucite grape hanging lamp. I mean, it's
Ooh.
stunning, absolutely stunning. But it's got a few of the grapes that need to be glued back in place.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it probably for 6 months. Haven't had the time. I mean, I picked it up for next to nothing. The guy had no clue what it was. I said, "How much do you want for it?" He told me. I paid him. Boom.
Yep.
That's it. You know, I didn't dicker with him. I'm just gonna pay the man. Because
Yep.
I seen him sell for $250, $300. So got it home, plugged it in, it lit, still got the grapes. But I don't have. I've got one of them rain lamps. You know what they're talking about? Them rain
Oh,
lamps,
I
the oil lamps.
love those.
I've got one of
Love
those,
those.
but sitting behind the thing now for 2 years. I know the motor runs. I got to put some oil in it, see if the rain drips down the things. Haven't had time to
You
mess
just
with it.
don't have time. I do the same thing. We have a repair desk. There's my husband. He does not. He's the only person that's supposed to repair things, and
Heather
I
said
haven't
you
yelled at him
buy it like
about
it.
it.
You buy
Yeah,
it like
I
it is. You
haven't
talk about
yelled
the
at
rain
him
lamp,
about
Heather.
it.
Well, talk to you.
Oh, she would love that. But I haven't yelled at him about it because like it doesn't matter right now. We paid nothing for it. Who cares? But if it's something that like we buy it at the Goodwill and we paid $1.99 and it's worth $300, then we're like, and it's small and easy to ship, and I know I can get that much like really quickly, then
Hang
I'll
on
fix
to it.
it.
Hang on to it.
I'll
Right.
fix it and I won't mind hanging on to it for a few months. It won't bother me. Yes, let it be her burden. But, like, it's okay to do that every now and then. We have so much stuff.
Yeah.
We have, like I think we probably honestly, if I'm doing, like, an honest estimate, we have 1,100 items listed on eBay and
Wow.
about just as many, if not twice as much more, not listed at all anywhere. So, like, it's just sitting there waiting, and we do a little bit at a time. We do, like, 10 items a day, a little bit at a time, and it's slowly getting smaller, but you can't do it all at once. And, I
No.
mean, I could, and if I did, I'd be in bed for 3 days,
And being
just
one
yeah,
person, being one
yeah,
person that's working a regular job, I got zero
you
time.
can't. You have to take a break every now and then, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I used to go through this, like, dance with my brother where I love him to death, but he would say, like, "Well, I just see you sitting on the couch not doing anything, so you must not be working." And I'm like, "Yes, I am. I'm
eBay's
literally
working. eBay's
I'm
working.
Yes, eBay's working. What I put into that business is currently working right there, and I need to take a break. It's not lazy to take a break. You need to take time for yourself, and I know that's hard for you to do too, is to sit down and literally turn off your brain and just
I
think
can't.
about
I
nothing.
can't. I
It's
can't.
impossible sometimes. So sometimes you just need to sit down and do it best as you can, take a physical break because it's so much labor. You don't think it is, but it's a lot. Once you start doing it, you're always walking around, you're always bending down, picking things up off the floor, you're writing things, you're consciously thinking of things. It's a lot of work. So you have to take a break. And I've forced myself to do that a lot. And I'm like, when you're always taught like, oh, don't be lazy. Yeah, all of those things. It's like a lot. So you're always taught as a kid, oh, if you're sitting on the couch, you're being lazy. Or if you're not out doing yard work, you're being lazy. But it's
Right.
not laziness, it's
Nope. Nope.
genuinely needing to recoup. Yes, meditate. And I know meditating it's different for everyone. There's always like the om meditating where you're sitting on the couch
Hum.
meditating. Yeah, there's
Hum.
always that. You could do yoga. But when I do meditating, what I do, especially if I can't sleep, when I'm constantly like gears turning with whatnot, is I'll lay there and I'll say, okay, what are you worrying about? I have a show tomorrow that I've only loaded 20 items and it's 2 hours long. I don't have enough. Okay. Can you do anything about it right this second at 1 o'clock in the morning? No, you cannot.
No. Go
So
to
let
sleep.
that thought go. So that's how I meditate. You just kind
Right.
of let the thought come in because you can't pretend it's not there. You can't ignore it. It's going to come
Right. It's
in.
there. It's
So you just
there.
let it come in and then you accept it and you throw it away till tomorrow. And then tomorrow you pick your thoughts back up and you do what you can.
Right,
But
right,
that's like an important thing to ask yourself is, can I do anything about this right now? And if you can't, then let it go. And that's
right.
how I try to get through life.
My biggest thing right now is I've thrown all my eggs into this one basket.
Mm-hmm.
Beforehand, I was on two platforms, but there were platforms where I didn't have to spend time in front of a camera.
True.
I was on the Bay, and I was on Marketplace. I was huge on Marketplace. I had my own, and I should never have let it just go away like I did. I had my own group page on Facebook that's got over 10,000 people that just follow my stuff.
Ooh.
Just
Wow.
follow my stuff. So I need to get active on that again. That's a captive audience. Nobody can list on that group page but me.
Yep.
And I built that from nothing. Built it from scratch. So I still got a few things on there, but when I was doing Marketplace, every single day you list every
Yep.
single day, or you relist, or you change prices, or you do something to keep the algorithms moving. Just like Whatnot, there's algorithms in there that the more you work back and forth, like kneading bread. The more you knead that bread,
Yep.
it's going to start rising. It's going to start doing something. So I'm a firm believer in that the algorithms are there, set with YouTube as well. I'm a firm believer in that. So my goal, and it's so hard because, again, I'm working a regular job. Plus, getting this promotion, there's going to be more hours doing that. So the good thing is, it's not going to be an hour and a half drive.
Yes.
It's not
That's
going to
the
be an
good
hour and a
part.
half drive. So it's going to be a 20-minute drive.
Much better.
So that's going to be a good thing. Hey, Desert Mermaid, guess what we're doing, my friend? Hey, guys, Desert Mermaid will be my guest in March.
March.
In March on Gumby's Vibe Tribe. So make sure you bookmark my shows for that. And also, Kylie as well. Make sure you bookmark all Kylie's shows you got coming up, all my shows we got coming up. Again, we're not really trying to promote all that stuff, but it's there. You know, we're there. Follow us, bookmark our shows, that kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to talking to the Desert Mermaid. It is,
Yes,
yes,
Desert Mermaid. I love your photo, by the way.
yes.
I
Carrie
love
is
that picture of
amazing.
you. It's a very good photo of you.
Now, how is a mermaid with no legs supposed to march?
Oh, because it's in March. Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
got it.
Oh my gosh. I
I
know.
was sitting too
Woo!
low to the ground. That went right over my head. But hey, Carrie, we've had a good time in here so far. We've been, I mean, we haven't had crazy numbers, but for a chat show, first time chat show.
We've talked about selling, which was the point of this, was selling and stuff, but also personal stuff. We've gone over a conversation about religion. You
Yeah.
know, I didn't expect that. That was out of nowhere. We cried a little bit, you
We
know?
did.
We did. It's okay. It's a great show. I love it. I'm glad to
Yeah.
be here. And I'm honored to be the first person. Like, I'm setting this up. So, like, I was a little nervous. Like, I was like, oh God, I'm like the preview to what's to come.
And you
So I
know,
hope I don't screw it
and to be
up.
quite
But,
honest with you, I could not have had a better first guest.
oh,
I'm honest. I could not.
oh,
Someone,
thank
first
you.
off, I feel very comfortable talking with
Yeah,
you.
I could
You know, and
literally
that,
talk to you all day.
yeah, I could, and that's that's part of my downfall. Oh my gosh, I love to talk to people, uh,
Yeah.
and I don't care what it's about. You tell me what to talk about, we'll talk about it. And
Yes.
that's me. I love it. So and on a personal note, I don't have many. And this is hard for me to say. I don't have any real life friends.
I know what you mean.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I don't because I do this. I'm at work. I don't have that personal relationship at work. I'm their boss at work, so I have to keep the professional distance.
Plus, you
So
have
then,
kids, and when you have free time, you gotta spend time with the kids and the grandkids and the
well,
wife. You gotta make sure everyone's happy. Like, you don't have time for that.
right?
Honestly, internet friends are a lot easier to have than
They
real life
are.
friends. Because
They
I don't
are.
need to see you in real life. We don't need to go to dinner and do the dance and, do all that. We just talk on the phone, and we could literally not talk for 6 months and we're fine. So, yeah,
Right?
after the
Yeah.
pandemic, definitely, a lot of people lost friends and don't wanna be around people, and that's fine. I have one friend that is in Indianapolis that I see once every 2 to 3 weeks. He lives, like, 8 minutes away, and we'll hang out for, like, one day, 6 hours at a time, and we just watch TV together and laugh, and that's all we do. And that's all I
That's
need.
cool.
That's the only
That's
friend
cool.
I need.
Yeah.
But whenever I used to live in Florida and in Virginia, I was the same way. I had like one friend. And in Florida, I had a
Hey,
ton of
Diane.
friends. But that's because I was in college and I had to see them in person every day when we're in classes together and like we work together and everything. And they live nearby. Oh, cool. That's awesome. You'll have to tell us about that. But
I'm taking applications for a real life friend just in case.
yes. Yeah, but like if we lived closer,
Hey, Daddy.
we would definitely probably hang out, but it's like a very specific way of hanging out when it
Right.
comes to when you're a reseller and you're a full-time worker and you're a family man and like there's a certain way we can hang out. And I'm not talking, okay, let's make a little date day where we're going to the movies and we're going to dinner and then afterward we'll watch a movie. Like no one's doing that. We don't have time for that. Is Timmy awake? Oh God, where is Timmy?
Timmy's awake. Timmy's
Did you
awake.
take Timmy downstairs? I don't know where. I'm asking my husband, where did you? I hear him coming up the stairs. He must be bringing Timmy.
What's
Oh, I
up?
love it. Grab my wig. Purple one. The purple wig I got from you. Oh, he's still in his Santa hat.
Oh my goodness.
Look at his Santa hat.
Hold on.
He's not in the thing.
Timmy can't be on the screen at the same time. Yeah.
No, this is Tommy, his cousin.
This is Tom.
Tommy. Hey, Tommy.
He's too festive.
Hello. Medical boss.
There you go, gorgeous.
Oh my God, life is just but a vacuum.
It looks so.
A vacuum of pain.
Oh my God. I'm bored.
You ever wonder what's in the void?
Oh, Timmy has a really high voice. You have a real deep voice. What's up with that?
It was the emo wig.
Huh?
It's Tommy,
We need to
your
visit
cousin.
one
It's
day.
been a while. It's been a while since you've seen your cousin Tommy.
the point of the book.
He's got the angriest eyebrows. This is his angry cousin.
Don't judge me.
Just a little bit, Mason. Just a little bit. This is what happens when you resell. We don't have real life friends. Did we mention
We don't.
that?
We don't. Timmy is my best friend ever.
Yeah. He's our best buddy. That's my best bud. Ow, that hurt.
Love hurts sometimes.
Stare down. Oh God, they're gonna have a staring
We
contest.
can have a stare down.
Tommy lost.
Right.
Tommy's not the original.
Run.
Tommy's not the OG.
Everybody run.
Which,
But
by the way, this wig.
Timmy was my one of my best friends. He was he's always gonna be around. Timmy's always gonna be around. He was my what do you call it? My partner in crime for the longest time. Look at that.
That looks interesting with both.
That's very different. It's very
I don't like this at
grab
all.
his screenshots, everyone. That's right.
I
By
don't
the
like
way,
this at all.
this
I
is
feel like my name is Martha, and I work at the local gas station, and I always have a cigarette in my mouth.
no, not downplaying this, but you need a big nose ring. If you go wear the purple hair.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I gotta wear a short sleeve shirt with all my tattoos out too, so that I look really wild.
Oh my God!
Man.
Right. Oh my goodness. What else? What else? Timmy. We talk about Timmy. Talk about not having friends in real life.
I don't think we've gone over any of the questions.
No, I got a list of questions right here. We haven't touched the questions.
Oh,
we haven't touched the questions. I don't think we need to. We probably, you know what? We probably have answered them without looking at them.
We have.
But I will say, oh yeah, we can talk about this here. Top 2 or 3 coolest things that you found in the wild.
Ooh, I know this one. So the first one we got at an auction for $3. because that was their starting bid and no one else bid on it because they thought it was ugly. You can look it up. It's this big mirror. I think it was originally, it wasn't Homco, but it was a similar company like that. But it was a big mirror and it had a picture of a girl, like a woman on it, and a man who looked a lot like Hitler. He had a Hitler stash, and they were in a bathtub. And it said, "Take a bath with someone you love." And
Oh my God.
we sold it for $250
Wow.
within 3 days of listing it because it was super rare. And I was like, what? Oh my God, $3. We made a huge profit on that. So then the other item, what was the other one we were talking about?
The bank.
Oh yes. So we didn't buy this. Unfortunately, we didn't have anywhere to put it.
Yeah, the image.
We didn't have anywhere to put it, but I'll let him tell you. I have to run to the potty real quick. So I'll let
Let
him
me
tell you.
turn the camera so you can
Yes,
see.
you gotta use.
I didn't
there
do my
you
hair. Sorry.
It's all right. You got wig hair. Or hat hair.
So we found it was in early 1800s. When I say Wild Wild West, I know that sounds like it's from a movie, but it was literally a bank teller booth. Oh, hold on. Let me take Tommy off. It was a bank teller booth, so it had the counter and the front plate and then the side. And it was this thick. It was about 4 inches thick of hardwood because it was supposed to be bulletproof. It
Right,
was
right.
a bank teller booth countertop. And they had drawers that had, you know what Mancala the game is, where it has little scoops out of wood?
No, but go ahead.
Oh, so it's basically a giant wood pallet where it looks like someone took an ice cream scoop out of the
Right.
wood.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
And
about.
that's where they put their change in. And that was actually like the bank, like nowadays we have cheap
Their
plastic
drawer.
and
Their
metal
drawer.
containers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was their drawer, and they would put metal, they would put coins in it, but it was just a giant wood container that they would pull it out of. And then they had armored plate, basically books that they would put their bills in. And the window was about this big, and it had like 4 bars of iron, and it was about this big, and that was what they would, because it was a bank. So it was literally what you would go to the bank, and that's where you would pull your money out of. And it was this big of a window, and there was a little lady that'll come out of it, and it was bulletproof. But it
That's
was
cool.
bulletproof for like when the revolvers were like the main weapon.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was an entire thing. It was an entire desk. Imagine an entire full like cubicle,
Like 8 foot across.
but it
probably.
was in someone's garage.
Yes.
Oh,
Because
wow.
when they took down the bank, this person's family knew whoever owned that building, and they pulled that out, and it was worth around $4,000 to $6,000 on the market. And if someone knows what they wanted, and they wanted to use it for movie production, museum production,
Right,
or they
right,
wanted
right.
to turn it into a bar, they can sell it for like probably $8,000 to $10,000. But the person we knew who was selling it was an estate seller. They were selling it for 400. And we're like, that's
We
pretty
wanted
cool.
it so
That's really
bad.
nice. And they're like, you know what? We know you, $100. And we're like,
We didn't have anywhere to put it.
Put it,
we live
yeah.
in a
So
small
sad.
home. If we put it in our garage, it's gonna ruin it. And our garage wasn't climate
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 control
controlled.
like there. So we're like, we're not gonna take this 150-year-old museum piece and put it in our
Right.
garage and ruin it. And they're like, $75. And they kept talking us
And they
down.
wanted
Like,
it
no,
gone.
no,
They
this
wanted
thing
it
is
gone.
worth like 6 months worth of rent. I don't care if you give it to us for free. We're not going to take it because we're going to ruin
Yeah.
it because we don't have climate control to put it in.
Right,
And I told
right.
them, I was like, you need to contact the seller who knows a museum, who knows a rich person, or who knows someone
Like
who's
a
gonna
bar owner. Or
someone who's gonna
something.
put it back in the museum or
Or use it. Use it in their business.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
movie
movie
or something else,
production.
or keep it the original. Like someone who will actually be able to take care of it because we can't. Unfortunately, we're not in the position where we can preserve it.
Yeah.
And I don't care how much. Like you can give me a $2 million piece. If it's worth $2 million, like yeah, I'm probably gonna try and find someone to sell it and split the profit. But
But
I
we
don't know
couldn't
anyone.
we didn't want to ruin
I
it.
don't want to ruin it. It's a historical
Yeah.
piece. So
Well,
we said, you know what? No, you need to contact these people. But if you don't find anyone, put it in your own shop, and then we'll return, and then we'll help you try and find people in the future. But he
Right.
never contacted us back about it because he sold it like the next day for I think $3,000. And
Wow.
he was trying to sell it for $75 to us just because he knew us so.
Wow.
So we're like, we feel like really like that was my favorite piece of all time because it was a historical piece. It was from the early
Right.
1800s, maybe a little bit before.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thing is,
No,
I
we're
don't
gonna
know
lose
all the dates, and I do a lot of research and all that kind of stuff. The coolest thing that I found that I couldn't get was an old English telephone booth. The red ones, you've seen them, right? The red ones. Now, it didn't have a telephone or anything, but the red was the doors slid. Oh, it was amazing. I could have got it for $100. $100. However, like you, I didn't even have a place to put it, a way to haul it, because you don't almost had to disassemble it. You can't pick it up, because when you unbolt it from the bottom, it comes apart. So
and
you
we
almost
got
have to
hard to
have
fit.
the
So like at the
studs
time
coming up from the
also.
ground, cemented in to put it back in place.
Yeah.
So I envisioned myself buying it and having boards laying there, and being there 3 years from now, useless.
Yeah,
But that's probably.
We would have to get a storage unit and pay like $75 a month that's climate controlled just to store that one item. So it doesn't make sense.
Like I'm still iffy on getting a storefront unless it's like a tiny storefront.
Yeah.
But also, this is Tommy
He still has
Two
it on his
Gun.
hand.
This is Tommy Two Gun coming for the stair contest.
Which, by the way, this is my husband. I don't know if you guys even know who the heck this strange man is that just started doing it. Timmy, you're in my shot, friend. You're in my shot. But this is my husband. He is not even a part of my business, but technically he is. He's not like on paper or anything, but he's done so much work for the business and just modding and stuff like that. And my hair is like crazy right now.
Yeah, my hair is too. I don't have gel in it.
Tommy's ruining my hair.
Hey, at least y'all have hair.
Yeah, but true. But he got out of the Navy. They kicked him out because he's too crazy. No, just kidding. He got out of the Navy back in March. He was in for 12 years, and he was just every single day doing what other people asked of him. And finally, once he got out, I get to tell him what to do, and he will take what I tell him to do much more over like what is it, Master Sergeant type of commander in chief, whatever you want. That's the president. What am I saying? I wiped Navy words from my brain once he got out. I tried to forget. So he joined in this business kind of as a fun thing to do on the side, like as a hobby, because this is drastically different from military life. So he enjoys it. And
I could choose where I want to live.
Yes. He can choose where he wants to live and who he wants to live with. And so he kind of got into this business and knows so much about it. Like he just jumped right on board. And he's freaking crazy. Like he distracts the heck out of me like all the time. And you'll often see him in your room, if not Gumby's room, just randomly on Whatnot making jokes and just getting muted all the time and just testing the servers.
I think you got muted last night, didn't you? You got muted last night for saying something.
I mean, I was in not a Facebook, sorry. I was in a Whatnot group. Who was it in the other day? Where you were able to say the F word?
Yes, you can say the F word.
Yep.
Yes, you can.
But then I was trying to say certain other words. Like I don't even know what's like. You can literally be like, I'm gonna murder everyone and everyone's gonna die and I'm crazy, and you don't get muted. But then you're like, oh, I sneezed. And people are like, oh, you didn't say bless you afterwards. You're muted.
Yep, there you go.
You can't say that.
Boob is the one thing.
They don't care.
That's the one thing we used to use to get into what we call red room.
The red room. Yeah, the mods used to use that as a secret thing. And Diana taught me that actually. And it was funny. Because I've never heard her cuss. Like, she doesn't normally cuss around like other like outsiders. I guess I don't know. But yeah, she just like put in the chat one day, the first time I was ever modded, she put boob, how are you guys tonight? And I was like, what did you just say to me? And she was like, it's how we talk in secret. And I'm like, that's inappropriate. Like I was like,
before the new secret thing came up, which I love, which I absolutely love.
Yes, we don't have to talk about boobs all the time now, and it's very nice. It's
the only thing that concerns me about the secret chat, if y'all aren't aware of it, if y'all aren't sellers, guys, there's a secret chat we could type in and hide the chat. Only the host and the moderators can see. The only bad thing about it, you got to make sure that you know who your moderators are. You know. Because you don't want to say something that could offend somebody, or I mean, even if you don't mean to, it can happen. So that's why you always, even though you got to be professional, the red rooms, yes. But anyhow, that's just a whole different story, right? So Let's see here. What time? Wow, we've been on now for, oh my
Woo,
gosh.
it's almost 10. Oh my goodness.
We've been talking for 2 hours and 45 minutes, guys.
Doesn't feel like it.
I
No,
wanted
it
to be
doesn't,
here the
but
whole
very,
time, but
very
like I said, my
comfortable.
energy level is like this,
I
and
know.
Kylie's is this, and yours is like this, and I know everyone thinks that everyone's is supposed to be like, woo, but I'm like down here. Kylie's is up here, and I can only be in a room for like
Deb's,
this much.
Pop and Stuff, and the Red Rooster have both been here the whole time.
Dubs!
Really?
Yes, I know. I agree. Yeah, I was just so surprised. But yeah, they have both been here the whole time. And I'm sure other people have been here the whole time too. And we appreciate you guys. That's awesome.
Dave! Hey, Dave, how are you, my friend? See, Dave calls me TGM. Dave calls me TGM, as in the Gumby Man.
And Dave, by the way, my dad's name is Dave, and he's the only Dave I know. So every time I see your name, I always think of my dad. So,
That's a
and
good thing.
he's a funny guy. So every time I see your name, I just expect dad jokes. So
Dave's the only one on Whatnot that I know that's older than me.
Oh, really?
He's born in 58 or 59,
Do you know?
I think.
Do you know Simply Old Stuff?
I've
She's a
heard the
vintage
name, but I
decor
haven't
seller.
met them.
She is 72 years old, and she is killing it.
1950. Dave was born in 1950. So he's 14 years older than me.
I would like the chat to take a guess at what year I was born.
I'm going to say
29 3/4. Okay.
90, 91, 92.
You're close. You're close.
That's scary
him.
for me.
89. I'm old. I'm old, man. 2 people saying the 80s. I'm not an 80s kid. Wow, everyone says 89. Oh my goodness. Wait, how old would that make me? Do the math.
89 would be 24.
No.
No, that's 90. That would be 30,
34,
35.
sorry.
89 puts you at 35.
It would be 34.
Irish girl got it. Yeah, I was born in 1995, halfway through the 90s.
An Irish girl and Dave 2950 are husband and wife.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
They're working together.
I'm not even 30 yet, but it's weird because I feel 30. I feel like I've been 30 for a good 10 years, honestly.
And I love when Irish girl and Dave come into my room. Matter of fact, I met Dave. Y'all remember when I did that Win Gummy's Money? Before Whatnot says I can't do that kind of stuff? He won
winner.
2 weeks in a row, I think.
Yeah, that was awesome.
There were 2 weeks in a row where I spent like $100 probably trying to win.
I'm younger than your
It was like half the numbers, and I was just like, "This 50-50 chance," and no one won, not even me. And I was just like, "Well, okay, I guess I'll just
Honestly,
try again."
I'm really bad at ages, apparently, because every time, like Desert Mermaid says, I'm younger than all her kids. I never would have guessed she has kids over 30. Never would have guessed it.
Right, I know.
And like I did not know you were close to 60. I didn't know. I thought you were early 50s, like
And
barely just over the hump.
Susie's 27 days older than me.
I have really young parents. My parents had my brother when the day before my dad's 18th birthday, so he was 17, and then he had me when he was 20 and my mom was 22. So they planned this. This wasn't an accidental pregnancy. They were like, "I want kids at 18," and they had them. So I have really young parents, and I've always just loved older people because I mean, like my parents they're young at heart. So like I've always been around young feeling people, and I appreciate older people so much more. Like I don't hang out with people my age, and I don't like it.
I grew up in bars where the only people that I respected were like, retiring and about to die, basically.
Yeah, when we used to go to bars, we would
When I was a kid.
specifically go to the bar that says this is like an old folks hangout, like where they got the pool tables and they got old school rock on. I would go there because I'm like, yeah, that's my kind of place. Because the places that have like really loud rap music, and like it's nothing against rap music, it's just not my scene.
If it's what the general public likes, it's too loud for us.
No, it's too loud. I like.
I can dig some rap music. For an old guy, I can dig some rap music.
Yeah,
I
it
grew up.
depends. You have to be in the right mood. But I'm more like if I'm just hanging out with my friends, I want to be like playing pool and darts at the bar with the 60-year-old dude that's been living here since he was a kid.
If you can't hear someone who's sitting 6 feet away from you, let alone like screaming in your own ear, it's not the place for us.
Yeah.
So we grew up like
We're boring.
We like to be able to play darts and scream at each other.
Well, see, I grew up. Hey, Donkey Poop. I grew up at dancing, right? So I was used to the clubs and the nightclubs where everything
Oh
was
my gosh.
Disco.
loud.
You grew up at the roller disco?
Yes, yes. We went to the roller rink. Yes, we did that. All kind of stuff. It was fun. But talk about young kids. My youngest son, he's 20, so I basically had him at 39. So, but he kept me young. He kept me young. I coached him in soccer. He at 13 years old, he wanted to be. He's played soccer all his life since he was 3 years old. He wanted to be a soccer official, which you can be. They call it ground level, grassroots official at 13, where you can officiate younger kids. So he went to school and became that. And I said, well, if you're gonna become a referee, I'm going to drive you everywhere. Because you can't drive. You're 13 years old. So I went to the same courses and classes. I became a soccer referee as well. So he kept me young. And I refereed soccer up until about 2 years ago. I mean, I had to take a break during my accident. But up until about 2 years ago when I finally retired, I tore my Achilles tendon and had to be put in a cast for 6 weeks. And I said, I think it's time for me to hang the cleats up. But he kept me young. And, being all the soccer games all the way through college, he kept me young. And now that he's out at college and pursuing other things, I don't have to be anywhere at any time. I can be here.
Yeah. True.
Beforehand, I had to be in North Carolina for a game, college game, or wherever. It was crazy. College, oh my gosh. College soccer compared to club soccer and high school soccer, night and day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't college soccer way more serious?
That's because
they own you.
It's a career. It's a career maker. So they can't joke around.
Right. And my kid was a great soccer player for club in high school. He played a defender, outside defender, or center defender in high school. He was only 5'11". He's not a big kid. Nowadays, the center backs in soccer, 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". They get these guys from overseas, and now with the transfer portal, it's just not fair. It's not fair. A kid can't work his way up no more. It's impossible. So he decided to take a break, which is cool, and I could take a break too. But I loved every single minute of it. I loved every minute of it.
They were talking about
all my time.
They were talking about TV shows in the chat. What is your favorite TV show? I know you said you don't really watch much
TV
and movies, but what is your favorite show if you had to say over your lifetime? I know you don't watch much now.
Over my lifetime, I'm going to have to probably go with Gilligan's Island.
Yes, I love Gilligan's Island.
I grew up on Gilligan's Island. Yeah. It was one of the only shows that I watched through and through on antenna.
Wonder Woman. I like Wonder Woman show. The Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk was fun to watch.
That was hilarious.
David Banner, whatever, is that Dr. David Banner? That was a good show.
Yeah, that was one of the only
they don't have shows like that.
I enjoyed.
They don't. My favorite show, probably, I have two. One of them is I Love Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have literally seen it front to back 14 times.
It used to be our nighttime show when we were
right.
Because my grandma used to say that I was a lot like Lucy because I would make the weird faces weird. And I would always be doing comedy skits and stuff as a kid. Mm-hmm. And then Dick Van Dyke is my other favorite show.
Oh my gosh, yes.
If you're gonna say anything about Dick Van Dyke in the chat, you cannot, because not only is Dick muted, but so is Dyke. So just say DVD. We know who you're talking about.
Now, was your favorite part when he actually almost fell down the steps or did fall down the steps?
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, Laura Petrie. Yes, I love Laura. And honestly,
he has so much energy. He's
never not had
energy. Oh my God, I wish I could be him. Even at my old age, he had so much more energy.
Dick Van Dyke is 98 now, and he is learning. He's just learned how to play the ukulele at 98 years old. He is still just but I think it's really interesting how young his wife is.
Oh, Get Smart. That's a good one.
He has a very young wife compared to how he's 98. I think she's in her 50s or 60s. So it's whoa, they look really interesting together. But they seem so happy. They've been married for ever. So like
Right.
but he goes to
Yeah.
Disney and like he goes to all these different places and he's super spry and I just love him and his show was hilarious.
Honestly, I'm jealous of his wife because he probably doesn't even want her for most reasons that most old men want young girls
No.
for. He just wants entertainment and
He
companionship.
does. And they're hilarious
And he
together.
probably just gets out of his wheelchair every once in a while, dances
Dances
around.
with her. I love it. It's so cute. Yeah, Mary Poppins.
He's so innocent compared to most people that we've known.
I'm gonna say a show that most people probably don't like, but I kind of like it. Sanford and Sons. I love
I don't think
Sanford
I
and
ever
Sons.
watched that. Is that the
No?
sitcom? Is that like a sitcom?
Yeah. It's
No,
about
funny.
a father and a son who were trash pickers. They were. I got a raid. We got raided.
Thank you so much,
Barbertown, welcome in.
Barbertown.
Welcome in. Just letting you know, guys, what we're doing. You have wandered in to Gumby's Vibe Tribe show. So welcome in, Raiders. I'm not selling anything. There's something to buy it now if you want to. I'm not pushing anything. We're
No
just
pressure
here.
here, kids.
We're here to talk. We're here to talk. And thank you, though, for the raid. Thank you so very much
ask
for
us
the
any
raid.
questions. If you have questions, we've gone
Yeah.
over such topics as religion today. We've talked about our favorite TV shows. What else have we talked about? We've talked about work and whatnot and, all sorts of stuff. So whether you have a very deep question, such as what is the meaning of life, or a small question like what's your favorite cat, just ask away. And yes,
And put
occasionally
it on puppet show, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you, Dave. That's true. Guys, if
My
you're not
husband is
following,
32 going on 12. It's fine. It's
yeah,
fine.
guys, if you're not following myself or Afternoon Tea Company, can you throw your flames up or put your name
Yes,
on so
I'll
they
say
can see
hi
you and
in the
follow you?
chat. Hi.
So give us a follow if you guys don't mind. I'm having my next show. I think is going to be Tuesday night.
Shows like 8%.
Will be Tuesday night. What was the aunt's name? Oh no. Oh, I can picture her. It was Esther, Aunt Esther. Right, Nagy, wasn't Aunt Esther? I think it was Esther. Esther, yes, it was Esther.
I gotta watch that. I
Oh
love
my
old
gosh,
sitcoms.
she was so
I have
funny.
seen a
You
lot of
old fool,
sitcoms.
you old fool, is what she would say.
I've seen Cheers. Have you ever seen the Beverly Hillbillies?
Oh, I love the Beverly Hillbillies.
So when I was telling you about my grandma earlier, she is a Beverly Hillbilly. Like, I mean it. She used to say that about herself, like in a loving way, because
Right.
that's the town I came from, was the very undereducated town where everyone is just very country style, like digging through the trash to find goodies and like stuff like that. And my grandma used to say our family is the Beverly Hillbillies. And honestly, I love it because when I would watch it, it would give me like so much nostalgia for my family because it's so much like that. It's always fun and funny and country, just really goofy lifestyle that I lived. And that's why I'm such a freaking goof now because I grew up with
My
the
dad
Beverly
used to
Hillbillies.
watch those shows. I think one was called Rat Patrol. It's like the military shows. I haven't seen it forever, but yeah, like Rat Patrol. What's happening? Yeah, what about what's happening?
What do you call that?
Of course, the Cosby Show. That was kind of cool.
I like a lot of old sitcoms, like Cheers. I did watch Cheers, but I wasn't a huge fan of it. Wasn't a huge fan. It seemed like a lot of drama.
I never got into shows that I had to carry it over. Like when I was a kid, though, yes, that's what we said. We were talking about Sanford. Yeah, Johnson Flint. We talking about Sanford and Sons. Yeah. Matter of fact, my ringtone is the Sanford and Sons theme song. And it's
McHale's
funny.
Navy. I love McHale's Navy. That was a good one.
Yes. I'll be out picking, right, in the thrift store or something like that. And Sanford and Sons ringtone come on, and they all look at me like, yeah, we know what you're doing.
Oh, that's funny. I'll have to watch that. Yeah, the Jeffersons were good. I watched a lot of old shows because I want to appreciate it. I'm not a person of this generation. Like, I know I'm a millennial, but I don't feel like one. I feel like I belonged in, like, I should be like 20 years older.
An old
Yes,
soul.
I've always been told I had an old soul when I was a kid. You used to have that ringtone. That's funny. And then what was the other one? The Mary Tyler Moore Show. I loved that one.
Right.
I love her. She's just great.
Alf.
An Elvis fan. Yeah, when I was a kid, my favorite performer was Elvis, and I would literally listen to his CDs like all the time. And my friends are listening to like I don't know, like 2 Chainz and Katy Perry, and I'm over here like, ain't nothing but a hound dog, and they're like, "What is wrong with you? You're so weird."
Yeah, we don't like to single out particular genres or even
Yeah, we like all
generations.
sorts of things. His favorite
Oh,
is Johnny Cash and Marty Robbins. We
Johnny Cash,
love Marty Robbins.
Marty Robbins, and Johnny Cash is the
The
Highwaymen, which includes the
Highwaymen,
Wailing
yeah,
right,
Jennings.
right.
Jennings. Yeah, we love those guys. That's pretty much the only country we like. We don't like new country, like the new pop country, I guess it is. Well, I guess now it's like rap country
Yeah,
It,
in a way.
it's all over the place now.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not a
all.
fan of it.
I'm
But
an
like, I
80s.
think,
I love my 80s music. I
yeah,
love my
yeah,
80s music.
basically anything before 2000, I have a chance of enjoying, unless it's
yeah.
indie music.
And I
And
love
Yeah.
indie music is
now.
just because indie music is just because selectively there's a couple of good hippie bands that are out there, like a Cake, that are good, but there's a lot of them that I don't like. So
Yeah. So here's a good one. If you had to sing a song on karaoke, what would you sing?
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Lean on me.
No,
I'm ramming you. I'm ramming her.
don't bring a me. That's a good one. I like that one. I used to go to
It's an
karaoke.
easy song. It's an
Yeah,
easy song that's in my wheelhouse,
in
I
your
guess you say.
range. Yeah, totally. Yeah. When I used to go, we used to go to those old school bars, right? And I was trying to impress the older folks that were there because anytime someone would come karaoke, if a young person would like wander into the bar, they would ask for like, "Oh, do like a Britney Spears like modern song or something." And the rest of the old people were just sitting back like, "Yeah, here's another one of those people." And then when the older people would get up there, they would do like AC/DC or like they would do like 50s music and stuff like that. So I always tried to impress them, and I would do "Crazy He Calls Me" by Billie Holiday. They say I'll move the mountains, and I'll move the mountains if he wants them out of the way. Crazy he calls me, sure I'm crazy, crazy in love, they say. And I
Wow.
would sing it to my husband, and everyone would just, "Oh my God, this young girl is singing this crap. I love it." It was funny because I would be wearing like a short dress and fishnets and leather boots, and like I don't look like I would be singing that. And it was just so fun. So much fun. I loved it.
So I stay off camera because one, I'm weird, and two, I don't I don't like singing karaoke.
Oh yeah.
But the one time I
Yeah.
tried to sing karaoke publicly was sorry
He
was
sings
with
like Johnny Cash. He really
yeah,
does.
I sing really well only in the
In
monotone
private.
Johnny Cash older years. I have a really good deep voice when I sing, but I'm not a public speaker. Even when I was in the Navy, this is what I was actually getting to earlier when you said cussing and whatnot.
Hmm.
When I'm in the Navy, I never cussed, but when I was comfortable with the people who I was with, there was actually one time where it was with a rear admiral.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
and
Oops.
and like he gives out coins. Like he's supposed to be like the person that the whole. Oh, hold on, let me take this off. Oh, let me be serious. Okay, now I'm serious.
Be serious.
He's like the one person you're supposed to be like super formal with, and
Right,
everyone's
right.
prepared for him. And I prepared for his entire thing, and I ended up cussing in front of him, and he didn't give a shit. He actually slapped me on the back when I cussed. He's like, "Wah!" And he slapped me enough to where I was like, "Whoops!" And then I didn't even know I cussed until he did that. But yeah,
He did
when we
karaoke.
did karaoke in a bar, there was 2 microphones and they didn't turn mine on. Not on purpose, they just didn't turn it on because the dude who was doing it didn't turn it on. And
Right.
I didn't know until halfway through the song, and I felt so bad that when
We
I
were
turned it
doing
on, full
"We
some
Got Married in
in
a
a
Fever."
favor.
That one.
Uh,
We did that one.
but when I realized that it wasn't turned on, I felt so bad halfway through the song that I turned it on. And then I heard my voice on the speakers and I turned it back off.
Yeah, it was funny. He tried so hard, and
Yeah.
it was funny.
Hey, Happy Home Vintage.
What have
We
you
are
walked into?
for y'all that just wandered in. This
I
is
saved today, so I don't have my
my
beard.
monthly chat show. We're doing Gumby's Vibe Tribe. We'll have special guests each month. This week or this month for the month of January, the very first guest ever on Gumby's Vibe Tribe was Kylie, Afternoon Tea Company, with her husband Joe Siskimo
I'm
or
human.
the Steli Wakuska, as they call him. So, yeah,
You call me Ken.
it's been a wonderful, wonderful time, guys. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. I know I have. I know that we've let our guard down a little bit, but that's the goal. The goal was to let our guard down a little bit, let y'all into our lives, let you see what we are about. So therefore, when you come to our shows, you know a little bit more about us, and therefore you can connect a little bit more. Because Whatnot is all about, in my opinion, is the community, is connecting on the community. So if you know what I got, it's 10:05. We've been running for about 3 hours. What do you
He's
say?
losing it a little bit.
I know, right? What do you say we go ahead and call it an end and we go raid? What do you think about that?
Yeah, my phone is at 16%, so it's about time.
That's a good thing too. But guys,
Yeah, I'm here, which means we're about to lose our minds. So
guys, I love you. I love y'all, Kylie. Thank you so much, Dave.
Hey,
Dave.
I'm not doing a thing.
Hey guys, everybody that's in here, I appreciate y'all. Tracy, I'll be messaging you, and maybe we have figure out some way we can communicate easier to messages. But we'll work that out amongst ourselves. But guys, we love you dearly. And can I rate here as with the co-host, or do we need
I don't
to?
think you can. You have to kick me
Can't.
out. But thank you so much.
Yes.
I had so much fun. Everyone who's been here, thank you so much. I am so thankful for all of you. And I have literally never sung on video before, so that was a big deal.
It's gonna be on my YouTube channel, by the way.
Oh God!
I don't normally broadcast my stuff on YouTube because I like to
Right.
play music in my streams, right?
Yeah.
But on these here,
So this is
it's live streamed to
permanent.
YouTube, so it'll be on YouTube
For life.
for
Forever.
life,
I'm under witness
forever.
protection. You can't do that.
Y'all get to see me tell my story. Y'all get to see me break down and cry. You can see Kylie sing, all that fun stuff. So, Kylie, go ahead and plug your social media real quick before we go.
Oh yes, I have a show. What day is it? I have a show on Tuesday. It is all variety, so it's going to be a very Gumby-esque show. I'm going to have another show on the 12th that's all high-end glass, and then on the 13th I have a Femorama that's all paper. So that's all this week. Oh my gosh, that's all this week.
Big. And
Crazy
you are on Instagram and
Yes,
is
I
YouTube
am
or
on.
no?
I am on Instagram. I am on YouTube, but I haven't uploaded anything. I'm also on
Gotcha.
TikTok. You can find some very inappropriately hilarious videos there. I don't use it much. Please don't scratch me. This is my princess. And yeah, so find me everywhere. I'm also on Facebook, and on other sales platforms that shall not be named. You know which one.
Right.
Ow,
Right.
ow, ow.
And guys, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, which is called The Gummy Man. I'm also on Instagram as Original Gummy Man. So make sure you.
She's very angry. He needs to put her down.
So guys, let's go ahead and end this. Hey, thank you so very much. I appreciate you. I guess I'm gonna see what we do here and kind of see how I do this. See, do I touch the three dots up here? What do I do? I'm not ending the show. What am I doing here? How do I do
Oh yeah,
this?
kick me out. You gotta kick me out.
I gotta figure out how to kick you out.
Hold on. Let me say something, and then you can click my thing.
That's how you do it. There we go. Remove co-host. See you, girl. See you, guys. Appreciate you. We're gonna go raid Haji. Raid Hodgepodge, guys. Hang with me. We're gonna raid Hodgepodge. Say when you get there, raid from out the Gummy Man, okay? Let's go. Create a raid. We're gonna go to the Hodgepodge place. She's got 415 in there. Say raid from out the Gummy Man. Here we go.